Then I told that, okay, the people who are Aryans are in fact a language group but not a migrant. Okay, they are a language group, racial group, right? We talked about that. Then thereafter, we discussed about, okay, so initially the division was between Shvetavarna and Krishnavarna, but the local population who are present are known as Dasyus. I think I talked about this. They spoke a different language, okay, and they were the local population when the Vedic Aryans came into India. So then apart from the Dasyus, the next aspect of the Vedic society is in the 10th mandala of the Rig Veda. Okay, there was a classification or there is a sukta which is known as Purusha Sukta, in which, okay, the original god of the Aryans by the name of Brahman, he was sacrificed, and from his head emerged the Brahmins, from his shoulders emerged the Kshatriyas, and from his thighs emerged the Vaishyas, and from his feet emerged the Sudras. And each Varna, it had its own peculiar occupation. But the thing is, in early Vedic period, Varna is not determined on the basis of birth, but on the basis of aptitude or capability of a person. People belonging to the same family, they were in fact involved in the professions of various Varnas. I think we talked about that. Then after that, we talked about the position of women. Even though the society is patriarchal, patrilocal and patrilineal, women's position was good in early Vedic period. Okay, primarily because there was permission for widow remarriage, and only marriages were conducted after a woman becomes an adult. Then thereafter, I talked about the Pratiloma and Anuloma marriages. Okay, so and along with that, the woman's choice is important in marriage too. So all of these factors were present in the early Vedic period. And I also talked about the famous Vedic poets by the name of, okay, Vishwavara, okay, Apala, Lopamudra. So I talked about these three people in yesterday's class. So women were playing a very important role in the Vedic society. So then apart from this, so if you look at the dietary pattern of the Vedic society, primarily they used to consume barley. Okay, and this barley they used to produce, okay, one is they used to collect barley from the forest regions. Then apart from that, in some areas they used to practice shifting cultivation, sir. Wherever they used to go for pastoralism, nearby they used to clear the forest through fire, and thereafter they used to cultivate some barley there, but after that they used to shift from one place to another. But barley is the main item of consumption. And most of the Vedic Aryan society, it revolved around sacrifices and rituals. I told you that there was no idol based worship. Okay, there was no concept of bhakti. Okay, the only way to pray to God is through performing rituals and sacrifices. And in the rituals and sacrifices, people used to, in fact, okay, spend a lot of money in rituals and sacrifices. Is it making sense, sir? And okay, slowly the rituals and sacrifices, they started becoming so complex that there was a requirement of a special class of people in order to perform the rituals and sacrifices, and this class of people emerged as Brahmanas. I think, are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So this is the case with the early Vedic society. So early Vedic society, Kabhi, I think most of the things we have already talked about, and this is the case with early Vedic society. When it comes to the economy, I told you already that it is a pastoralist economy. Yes, cow is the most important asset in the economy. The cow's significance is seen from the words which are derived from cow, sir. Okay, in fact, okay, the term for war, okay, war here means Gavishti. Okay, war is usually known as Gavishti. Search for cows itself has becoming a war. It means that, okay, the primary intention of any war between the Aryan tribes is what? The control over cows. Gavishti means what? War. Ga means here cow. Visti means search. The search for cows itself became a war, sir. And there used to be numerous conflicts between the various tribes of the Aryans. Are you following this? That is number one. Then apart from this, one more important thing is, usually the king is also known as Gopa. Okay, head of cows is known as Gopa, and king is also called as Gopa, or one more term is there. What is that? Gotri. Gopati. Gopati is the term which is used for, okay, the king. Then apart from that, okay, one more important term with respect to which emerged from the term go is Gotra. Okay, Gotra, I told you about this, okay, lineage group, and usually the people who used to tie their cows at one place are the people who belong to one particular lineage. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? It means that Gotra, it actually means cow pen. Cow pen means what? The place where the cows are tied together. I think you know pen, right? Okay, just outside the houses, there are usually cow pens, right? So Gotra originally means cow pen. Okay, and the people who used to tie the cows at one place, all of them, they got the same Gotra, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense, sir? Then along with that, in the early Vedic period itself, slowly the system of ashramas, it started emerging, sir. Okay, ashramas means there are 4 ashramas for a Hindu. Yes or no? Okay, so these 4 ashramas are what? One is brahmacharya, second one is grihastha, third one is vanaprastha, and fourth one is sannyasa. And the discussion about this ashrama system, it first came in this Upanishad which is known as Jabala Upanishad. Even if it is not given here, it is discussed later in the later Vedic period. But the ashrama system, it started slowly evolving from the time of early Vedic period, sir. Is it clear? The 4 ashramas of life. So this way, okay, the life and society of early Vedic period, it was in fact very prosperous. Okay, and the people were egalitarian. There was no class division. Varna was also flexible. Women were given equal position in society. So this way, okay, the society was in fact a very thriving society which had very progressive elements as part of it. Is it clear, sir? Now, with the time, okay, so what happened is the later Vedic period, it emerged. Later Vedic period, it emerged. Okay, I think there are some other terms like Kula is there. Yes, in early Vedic period, I think I forgot to discuss about it. Kula is there. Kula means family. Yes, then the second one is, okay, Vish is known as clan, right? Then the third one is known as Grama. Okay, so in fact, here Kula means family, Vish means the kin group. Okay, Vish means the kin group for which the common ancestor can be traced is known as Vish. Okay, so Vish is the family group or the kin group for which a common ancestor can be traced back. Then it is known as Vish. Whereas Grama is a kin group. Grama, or what is the next one, sir? After Vish there is one more term, or Grama is the next one immediately? Grama, right? Ancestor can be. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think I'm a little mistaken, sir. Grama is for the one where the common ancestor can be traced back, whereas Vish is the one for which common ancestor cannot be traced back. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? You didn't understand. Okay, I'll explain it again. See, let's suppose there are 5 generations of people. Okay, so grandfather to, okay, son. And the people who are directly linked to this common ancestor and all his descendants are known as usually a Grama. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? But, okay, even though they share common lineage, if they are not able to trace their ancestor back, then the group is known as Vish. Are you understanding now? Is it making sense, sir? So if you can trace the common ancestor, then it is known as Grama. Usually the Grama is a more, okay, solid kin group, right? Okay, because you are, all of you are relatives and cousins. Whereas Vish is, even though you know that these people are cousins to you, okay, but you don't know the trace or how they are related to you, you don't know. See, both of them are consanguineal only. Okay, it is not affinal. It's consanguineal. Okay, Grama or Vish, okay, and Kula, because male family member is most important in the family of Vedic Aryans. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? All of them are consanguineal. Is it clear, sir? Is it making sense? So this is one more concept. Now, apart from this, now we will move to the later Vedic period, sir. So first we will discuss the later Vedic period. Yes, sir.
You mentioned of sacrifice.
Yes.
What is the kind of sacrifice? What is the nature of sacrifice?
See, there used to be some different kinds of sacrifices, sir. I'll just explain. During early Vedic period, the sacrifices were not very elaborate. In fact, there were 2 kinds of sacrifices. One is the sacrifice with the help of Soma. I told about that Muzavat, right? Okay, the mountain where Soma is found. So with the help of Soma, okay, by in fact pouring the Soma into fire, they used to conduct one kind of sacrifice, sir. Then the second kind of sacrifice is known as Havir sacrifice. What is the meaning of Havir? Ghee. Okay, so ghee based sacrifices are present. Okay, Havir Yagna it is called as. There are 2 kinds. Soma Yagna is one, Havir Yagna is the second one. And in the rituals and sacrifices, usually the Vedic Aryans, what they used to do is, they used to pour milk and its derivative products into the fire, sir. Because they used to consider that fire has the capability to take the things which have been offered by the people to gods directly. Okay, Agni is considered to be the intermediary god between gods and people. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So milk and its derivatives, then sometimes even, okay, the barley, okay, barley is also used for sacrifices. Is it clear? See, and now the most controversial topic in sacrifices is whether cows were sacrificed in, okay, this sacrifices or not is the most controversial topic, sir. Okay, so please listen to me here. Okay, some historians, particularly the Marxist school, they believe that okay, cows were definitely sacrificed in these sacrificial pits. Okay, so some Marxist historians believe this way, but some others they believe that this was not part of the early Vedic culture. See, both the sides they have enough arguments, okay, enough number of key terms in the early Vedic period in order to prove, okay, cow was consumed on one side, on the other side cow was not consumed. Both the arguments are equally strong. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Okay, so and if you look at the arguments of the cow sacrifice, in fact, the arguments favor cow sacrifice, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, so if you look at the cow sacrifice arguments, the Marxist arguments were in fact very solid. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? In fact, non-violence as an ethic in Hindu society, it emerged only with the emergence of Buddhism, sir. Okay, vegetarianism, non-violence, these kind of things, they entered into Hindu society only after, okay, the emergence of Buddhism. Okay, before that, it was not a standard value in, okay, the Vedic literature. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? Okay, even though it might be a little controversial, but the thing is, Buddhism is the one which introduced ahimsa and vegetarian diet into the Vedic culture. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, so that is the case. See, there are enough evidences to counter it too. Okay, these days finding the truth itself is becoming very difficult. Okay, so because there are solid arguments on both sides. Okay, so in fact, a guest, okay, in this Vedic time, okay, a guest is known as Gogna. Okay, Gogna means the person if whom comes, the cow has to be sacrificed in order to feed him. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So these kind of terms are present in the Vedic literature, but at the same time, in other places in Vedic literature, okay, the cow is considered to be Aganya. Aganya means the one which should not be killed at any place. कुछ जगह पे ऐसा गोगना लिखा, okay, some other places में अगन्या लिखा. So we are not very clear of what was the exact practice at the point of time. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So this is the case. So Soma, Havir, okay, and whatever products are there, okay, whichever are food consumable items, they used to use them in the sacrifices. Is it all right? Okay, so this is the case with the early Vedic society. Now, if we move to the later Vedic society, okay, you can write them down, but anyhow in religion, I have discussed them later. Okay, religion, evolution, I will discuss separately, then I will talk about it separately. Now, we will see the later Vedic period, sir. First, let me discuss the broad topic of later Vedic period, then we can go to the handout. Okay, when it comes to the later Vedic period, simply here also we will divide it into polity, society and economy. It is a good way to study in this fashion. First and foremost, if you look at the polity, by this time, the Vedic Aryans, they started shifting from, okay, the Sapta Sindhu region to the Indo-Gangetic belt, sir. So this is the first important event, the geographical setting of the Vedic Aryans itself, it shifted from the Sapta Sindhu region to the Indo-Gangetic belt. In fact, in Rig Veda, if you see, the utmost importance is given to the Sapta Sindhu belt. But in later Vedic literature, whatever literature you see, the rivers Ganga and Yamuna are given higher significance. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So they migrated from the Sapta Sindhu region to the Indo-Gangetic belt, that is the first one. Then second thing about the Vedic Aryans is, in this migration, they were aided by the god Agni. Okay, it is said that in Satavata Brahmana, a very prominent Brahmana which was written during the later Vedic period, in this it is said that a Vedic Aryan king by the name of Videga Madhava, with the help of fire god that is Agni, they migrated to the Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay, here aid of Agni means what? Okay, in fact, they burned down the forests which are present in the Indo-Gangetic plain, and by burning down these forests, they migrated to the Indo-Gangetic plain, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Usually, the Indo-Gangetic plain at the point of time was a thickly forested region. They cleared these forests, one with the help of Agni, and the second thing is, by this time, they started using iron implements in agriculture, sir. See, in early Vedic period, iron was used only for the sake of weapons. But by this time, they started using IS or Krishna IS, it is called as. Okay, iron's term, exact term is Krishna IS. Okay, Krishna IS means black metal. Okay, iron is called as Krishna IS at this point of time, and with the help of Krishna IS, they started using it for the sake of agriculture, sir. And as part of this, they used the axes for cutting the trees. Then apart from that, they in fact attached the iron tip to a plow, sir. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Okay, usually I think you know about the plowshares, right? Okay, plow, it has an iron tip to it. When it is having an iron tip itself, it can in fact penetrate deep into the soil. It can turn more soil. okay, which will make agriculture more easy, because if the soil is loosened, naturally fertility will increase. The chances of the seeds surviving also increases when the soil is loose. That is the reason why they attach the iron to the plowshare, and with the help of this iron plowshare, they started entering into agriculture, sir. Are you getting this? Now, once they entered into agriculture, agriculture automatically puts an obligation to people to live a sedentary lifestyle. Yes or no? Because agriculture crop cycles are very long, and you have to stay at one place in order to take care and tend to the crops. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So that is the reason why, as they entered into agriculture, they entered into a sedentary lifestyle, and the earlier Jana, that is the tribe, is there, right? Now the Jana is replaced by a concept which is known as Janapada. Okay, Janapada means the land in which the tribe has settled. So Pada here means land. Jana means the tribe. The land in which the tribe has settled down is known as Janapada now, and it became the central political institution in later Vedic period, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? So the land in which the Jana has settled down is known as Janapada. And this Janapada, okay, it became a very important institution, and this led to the emergence of territorial kingdoms at this point of time. Territorial kingdoms. Earlier there was no territorial kingdom, only, okay, tribes were present. Now it led to the emergence of territorial kingdoms. Once the territorial kingdoms emerged, naturally along with that, okay, the position of Rajan, it started gaining more significance. Okay, earlier he was not a very important person. Okay, now the Rajan, he started gaining more and more significance, and his position became hereditary. His position became hereditary. Then along with that, the Rajan, he suppressed 3 of the 5 assemblies of early Vedic period. Okay, Vidata, okay, Ghana and Parishad, they were completely suppressed away, and in their place only the Sabha and Samiti were present, but their functions were also substantially reduced from earlier. Are you getting this? And once the Rajan claimed hereditary status, okay, what happened is his hereditary status and his rule is supported by the Purohita. Okay, Purohita is the one who supported his position, and the Purohita, he supported his position through performance of 3 big public sacrifices, and these 3 big public sacrifices are, one is Ashwamedha, second one is Rajasuya, and the third one is known as Vajapaya. Okay, 3 sacrifices were present: Ashwamedha, Rajasuya and Vajapaya sacrifices. And when it comes to the first, okay, Ashwamedha sacrifice is considered to be the imperial sacrifice. You might be knowing about Ramayana. Yes, Lord Rama also performed Ashwamedha. Okay, he sent the horse, and whichever region the horse goes to, it becomes the land of Rama. If someone wants to challenge, they can capture the horse, and then a war will be fought, and after that the horse will be reclaimed. You might be knowing about the story of Rama, Lava and Kusha. Okay, they in fact take away the horse of Lord Rama, and they fight a war with Lord Rama. So that sacrifice is known as Ashwamedha sacrifice, and it is considered to be an imperial ceremony which is conducted just before a war. It is called a war ritual, sir. Are you understanding this? And in this ritual also, the horse is sacrificed. At the end of the ritual, the horse which has been left off, it will be sacrificed at the end of the ritual. Yes. Then the second ritual is known as the Rajasuya sacrifice. And Rajasuya sacrifice is typically a consecration ceremony. What is the meaning of consecration? Okay, a prince becoming a new king is called consecration. And Rajasuya is in fact a symbolic of the prince becoming the new king, and it is also a very important sacrifice for the later Vedic period. And the last sacrifice is known as Vajapaya. And the Vajapaya sacrifice, it is associated with a chariot race. A chariot race in which the king and his tribesmen usually participate. And earlier, this sacrifice was in fact meant to prove the merit of the king as an expert charioteer. Okay, but by later Vedic period, what happened is this chariot race, it was rigged in order to make the king win the race. Okay, whether he is the most meritorious or not is immaterial. In Vajapaya sacrifice, the king will be made to win the race, and after which he will be proclaimed as the king of the land. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So 3 kinds of sacrifices. One is Ashwamedha, second one is Rajasuya, and the third one is Vajapaya. So these 3 sacrifices, they became big public sacrifices and rituals. And in these sacrifices, usually the Rajan, that is king, he used to give 2 things. One is Dana and the second one is Dakshina. Okay, Dana is the wealth which has been given to, which is usually given to the people who attend the sacrifice. Dakshina is the one which is given to the Purohita who has performed the sacrifice. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So in fact, this Dana and Dakshina, it became an economic transaction between the king and the Purohita. And in this economic transaction, the Purohita gets wealth, whereas the Rajan gets his status, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? The Purohita will give spiritual status to the Rajan. Rajan will give his wealth away to the Purohita in the form of Dana and Dakshina. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Then along with that, for the first time here, the king started having a bureaucratic organization of his own. And the bureaucrats of the later Vedic period, they are usually known as Ratanins. Here Ratanin is the bureaucrat. And usually there used to be, for every king, there used to be 8 Ratanins of his own. Okay, 8 Ratanins in total. Of these 8 Ratanins or bureaucrats, the 3 of them, okay, 5 of them are appointed by the king, 3 of them are the wives of the king. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? In fact, the king used to have, okay, participate in or have multiple number of wives. It was polygamy. So of which he used to select 3 wives as his administrators who are known as Ratanins. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Then along with that, the 5 other Ratanins who are present, they are usually, okay, the 5 other Ratanins who are present, these 5 Ratanins, they are usually appointed through a ceremony which is known as Ratanin Hivamsi. So in fact, in order to appoint a new bureaucrat, they used to perform a ritual or sacrifice where the king and Ratanin will sit together, and after that the sacrifice is conducted. So this is known as the procedure of Ratanin Hivamsi, that is the appointment procedure of the bureaucrats who are known as Ratanins. Are you understanding this? So slowly the bureaucracy has emerged. Okay, 8 bureaucrats were there, of which 5 are appointed through the ritual of Ratanin Hivamsi. 3 are the wives of the king. Are you following this? Then apart from that, we talked about, okay, how Rajan and Purohita, they transacted with each other. Dana Dakshina concept we talked about. So this is the political structure of the later Vedic period. And here, okay, 2 taxes were present, and these 2 taxes were in fact obligatory and not voluntary. These 2 are, one is called Bali and the second one is known as Bhaga. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, the first one, Bali, is usually 1/6 of the net produce of the farmer is collected as Bali, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Bali is 1/6 of the net produce of the farmer. Whereas Bhaga is also a special tax which has been imposed on people, but its ratio is not clear in any of the books, sir. Is it making sense? Okay, Bhaga is some special tax. Bali is 1/6 of the net produce of the farmer. It is paid as a tax to the Raja. And in order to collect these taxes, he appointed new tax officials who are known as Sanghahitra is one. Okay, and the second one is known as Bhagaduga. 2 people. Okay, so 2 tax officials of later Vedic period are Sanghahitra and Bhagaduga. Okay, they will ask a question in this fashion. Okay, with respect to ancient India, the term Sanghahitra refers to. Sanghahitra is nothing but he is a revenue collector. Bhagaduga also similarly means a revenue collector, sir. Is it clear? Okay, Bhagaduga and Bhagaduga. It's given there. Okay, don't worry about it. If you want to write running note, it is better. Okay, you can write. Otherwise also all this information is present in the handout. Wherever it is not present, I'll dictate it. Okay, 100%, 99% it will be there. Is it alright? Yes, sir. Voluntary dana is called as a Bhaga or Bali, sir. In early Vedic period, Bhaga, right? Okay, so here also it is called as Bhaga, but Bali is 1/6, sir. Is it alright? It's almost similar, but it's not voluntary. Both of them are obligatory. Okay, both of them are obligatory. None is voluntary. Is it making sense? So this is the later Vedic period polity, and this is how the political structure used to look like. Is it alright, sir? So Brahmin Purohita alliance, Ratanins, then tax collection, then along with that, okay, so the Jana got converted into Janapada, that is territorial state for the first time. Is it alright? Now the next one is, so we will study about the society of later Vedic period, okay, which is in fact very, very interesting and unique too. In society, if you look at, okay, by the time of later Vedic period, the Varna system, which was flexible during the early Vedic period, it started becoming rigid, and all the standard characteristics of Varna were attributed by the later Vedic period, sir. What are the standard characteristics of a Varna? Standard elements of Varna. Earlier it was merit based. Okay, so right now, what are the first and foremost, it is determined by birth, right? Okay, so birth is one. Second one is hierarchy. Yes, so we talked about this. In fact, the hierarchy is determined on the basis of this concept called purity pollution scale. Yes, hereditary is determination by birth, purity pollution scale is hierarchy. The upper varnas are considered to be pure, whereas the lower varnas are considered to be impure. That is the second nature. Then usually varna by later Vedic period on, is varna right now determined on the basis of merit? Marriage. Okay, endogamy. Yes, very good. Okay, endogamy is one more. It means that the people of one varna should marry within the varna itself. That is the third aspect. Then fourth one is, usually the varna is also linked to occupation of people. That is also one more important aspect of varna. Yes. So birth, purity, pollution, endogamy, occupation. Okay, all of these are important aspects of varna. Then along with these four aspects, one rule got added to varna, okay, which is known as the system of commensality. Commensality means common dining system. Are you understanding this? Common dining. It means that the people belong to one varna, they should interact with the people of the same varna, but not with the people of any other varna. This rule is known as the rule of commensality. So with these 5 standard rules, the varna system, it developed by the time of later Vedic period. The varna which was flexible earlier, now it became rigid and it got its 5 characteristic traits. Later these 5 characteristic traits similarly were taken over by the caste system. Yes, I think I talked about these 5 traits at one point of time in modern India. When I was discussing about modern India, I think I talked about it once. Okay, but these are the standard traits of varna, and along with that, okay, this varna system, it for the first time created a difference between physical and intellectual work. Intellectual work is considered to be higher work, whereas physical work is considered to be lower work. Yes, so this has removed the dignity from labor, because the people who are doing labor, physical labor, they are considered to be lower order, and the people who are doing intellectual labor, they are considered to be the people of higher order. Referring, okay. Then apart from this, one more important thing about the later Vedic period is, okay, so the varna mobility, it got completely stopped and varna became very rigid with all these characteristic traits. Is it all right? Then after this, one more important thing that happened during the society of later Vedic period is, by this time the position of women, it started declining substantially. It started declining substantially, primarily because, okay, the settled lifestyle, okay, once it started, naturally the role and position of women, it started reducing. When people were migrating from one place to another, women had a very important role in economy, primarily in the role of gathering. And pastoralism maybe, okay, usually women have a higher role. I think you know about it. Okay, pastoralism also, women have higher role. But in agriculture, there is an express ban on women participating in agriculture. Particularly, they cannot touch the plow. Okay, this is one rule which has been laid. So because of which women's position, it started gradually declining, and the declining position is clearly seen in the emergence of practice of sati. Okay, so sati as a practice in Indian society, it started from later Vedic period only. Okay, sati is one. Then second one is, there was emerged the concept of child marriage. Third one is polygamy became the standard practice by later Vedic period. Okay, we have seen the king getting married to 3 queens. Yes. So apart from polygamy, by later Vedic period, the woman's position, it declined. It is clearly shown in, okay, the rule that Vedas cannot be accessed by women. Okay, from now on, okay, women are not supposed to hear to the recital of Vedas, or they are not supposed to read the Vedas. Express ban on women from reading or reciting Vedas. And this ban, it was not only for women, but it was also extended to Sudras too. It was also extended to Sudras too. Then apart from this, okay, in later Vedic period, there emerged a unique rule, okay, and they started discussing about the concept of moksha, and this moksha, it was denied to directly women and Shudras in society. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, moksha is the highest spiritual status of Hinduism, and moksha is denied for both women and Shudras. Is it making sense, sir? So societal changes, are you understanding? And by this time, the rituals and sacrifices, they became so elaborate that they became very costly, sir. And in each ritual and sacrifice, the animal wealth of a Janapada, it is getting depleted. Okay, they started killing the pastoral wealth of theirs in large number in order to perform the rituals and sacrifices, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So rituals and sacrifices became the center stage of the society, and these became very elaborate exercises, sir. Is it clear? And to these rituals and sacrifices too, usually the Shudras are not permitted into the ritual and sacrifice too. Is it making sense? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So rituals and sacrifices became very elaborate and Shudras were not permitted into them. So these are the important social changes. Then along with that, one more important thing is, okay, here by this time, the concept of samskara, it emerged very properly by this time. I talked about the samskaras, right? There is 16 life cycle rituals which are conducted in a Hindu life. Samskaras became very prominent, number one. Then the concept of gotra, it was strictly enforced from this time. Then apart from gotra enforcement, one more thing that came during the later Vedic period society is, okay, in fact, the ashrama system, it developed into a full-fledged format, okay, during this period. And the ashrama system is only permitted for the dvija. Who are the dvijas? Okay, dvijas are the people who are born twice. Okay, the first birth is the physical birth. Second birth is the birth after Upanayana ceremony. Okay, Upanayana, I think you understand. And usually the first three varnas of Hindu society, they are considered to be dvijas. It's not just Brahmin. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. All three varnas are considered to be dvijas who are twice born. One birth is physical birth. The second one is intellectual birth, which occurs after Upanayana ceremony. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? Okay, dvija, are you understanding? Ashrama system, are you understanding? Okay, so this way, the society, it started turning more complex by the time of later Vedic period, sir. Is it clear? Now, we will have a look at the economy. And when it comes to the economical part of the later Vedic period, so here, I already told you that they went for agriculture. And in going for agriculture, some things helped the later Vedic Aryans. One is, they started using extensively iron in agriculture, sir. Okay, sickles, axes, okay, then along with that plowshare, all of these things they developed with the help of iron. Then the second major thing that happened here is these people started using manure for agriculture. Okay, they started knowing that the cow manure, it is very useful for agriculture. So manuring is the second thing. Then the third thing is these people in cultivation of rice, they developed this practice which is known as the practice of ropana. Okay, ropana means, okay, you know about paddy cultivation. Usually paddy is transplanted, right? You know about transplantation of paddy. So this transplantation of paddy in Sanskrit, it is known as ropana. Naturally, the transplantation of paddy, it increases the productivity of paddy. Are you understanding what transplantation is? Yes, it increases the productivity. So this way, the ropana, it led to significant agricultural surplus. And the main agricultural products which they used to consume are rice, wheat and barley. So three products they used to consume. Then along with that, once agricultural developed, yes sir, and barley is known as yava. You know barley? Yes, so these are the three products which they used to produce. Then apart from this, one more important thing about the later Vedic Aryan economy is, by this time, these people, okay, agriculture, yes, by this time, okay, large farmers, they emerged who are known as Grihapati. Okay, the large farmers of later Vedic period are known as Grihapati. Then along with that, by this time, the trade and commerce also started developing well. And along with the trade and commerce, numerous new crafts also emerged. Okay, numerous new crafts also emerged. Crafts emerged and trade and commerce also emerged. And the traders are the most prominent trader is known as Shreshtin or Shetty. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Shreshtin, Grihapati is the farmer. Shreshtin is the most prominent trader is known as Shreshtin. Okay, Shreshtin and Grihapati. So two names are present here and two new classes emerged here. And from later Vedic period on, what happened is agriculture as an activity, it was mainly given to the Shudras, whereas the Vaishyas were mainly involved in trade and commerce. Earlier Vaishyas were supposed to be pastoralists, right? Yes, Shudras were supposed to serve other Varnas. But now the primary occupation of Shudras became agriculture, whereas the primary occupation of Vaishyas became trade and commerce. Is it making sense, sir? So economical changes, are you understanding? Grihapati, Shreshti, okay, so rice, wheat, barley, numerous new crafts emerging. So all of these are the unique changes which occurred in later Vedic period. Is it clear? So in fact, okay, the Hindu religion as it has evolved, okay, initially, so there is Indus Valley religion first, then from some aspect of the Indus Valley religion they continued into Hinduism. Then after that there is the early Vedic religion, talked about the nature and fire worship. Now here by this time what happened is the Vedic religion, it is replaced by a new idea which is known as Brahmanism. Okay, Brahmanism. Okay, it's not Brahmin. Brahmanism is an ideology which believes in rigidity of the Varna system, okay, and other aspects. And in Brahmanism, the chief gods, okay, earlier the gods were natural gods, right? Now they were replaced by Vishnu, Brahma, and Rudra. Okay, the triumvirate of gods are present. By later Vedic period itself, the other gods were rejected, and in their place, these three gods were given highest importance. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And this Brahmanism, a reaction against this Brahmanism itself is Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, you can draw a flow chart here. Okay, Buddhism and Jainism is a reaction against Brahmanism. And Brahmanism, unable to tolerate the attack of Buddhism and Jainism, it has substantially reformed itself. And this reformatory religion, it is known as Puranic Hinduism. And this is the Hinduism which we follow right now. Are you following this? Okay, today in a typical Hindu life, the most or utmost importance is given to temple based worship, right? Ritual and sacrifice are in fact sidelined. Okay, only for exceptional events, rituals and sacrifices are performed. But day to day activities, there is no ritual and sacrifice. Temple based worship becoming the central part, it emerged because of this Hinduism which is known as Puranic Hinduism. Are you understanding this, sir? Yes. So then after Puranic Hinduism, during the feudal age, there emerged one more kind of Hinduism which is known as Tantric Hinduism. Okay, so are you understanding this? Indus Valley religion, Vedic religion, then Brahmanism, then Buddhism and Jainism, then after that Puranic Hinduism, and after that Tantric Hinduism. So I'll discuss about this evolution later. Okay, characteristic traits of each also I'll discuss later separately. Is it making sense, sir? Is it understandable? Okay, what I'm trying to say? Okay. So this is the story of Vedic period economy, and one more important thing here is the trade and commerce which is conducted is primarily conducted through barter. Okay, barter is the main method, but apart from the barter, okay, what happened is there emerged some gold ornaments which are known as nishaka. Okay, these are not coins, sir, they are ornaments. Gold ornaments which are used in exchange are known as nishaka. Is it clear? Whereas the silver ornaments which are used in exchange are known as Satapana or Krishnala, they are known as. Okay, two names for silver ornaments which are used in exchange, they are known as Satamana or Krishnala, whereas the gold coins are known as gold ornaments are known as Nishaka. Is it making sense, sir? Yes. Okay, because barter is very difficult system of exchange, right? Why is barter very difficult, sir? Not just proportion, you should find commonality of interest. Okay, commonality of interest is the most difficult part in barter. That is the reason why these people, they started using some ornaments like gold and silver ornaments in exchange, sir. Is it all right? Making sense what I'm trying to say? So this is one more important thing about the later Vedic period, and by this time some large merchants have emerged who are known as Panis. Pani is a large merchant. Okay, Shresthin is also a merchant, but a big merchant is known as Pani. Then along with that, there emerged a class of money lenders by this time. So I am saying that there is no money, but now I am saying again there are money lenders here. Okay, so in fact the money lenders at this point of time, they are known as Kusaidin. Okay, Kusaidins are the money lenders of the later Vedic period. It's given, right? Okay, so Kusaidin are the money lenders of the later Vedic period. So in fact, even though okay there was no concept of money here, okay, the lending activities which used to happen, okay, it used to happen in terms of cows and grain, sir. Okay, let's suppose someone is requirement of some grain. I will lend the grain to them. Okay, but I will lend one bag now, but within a year he has to repay me 2 bags of rice. Concept of interest has emerged for the first time. Okay, someone is in requirement of cow. I will lend him 2 cows, but within one cycle he has to give me back 3 cows. The 1 cow extra is interest. Okay, interest need not be only in monetary terms, but even in material terms also interest can be imposed. Regarding this, sir, and these lenders, these not money, okay, lenders are known as Kusaidin elite. Okay, why use the term money unnecessarily? It is confusing. So you use the term lenders for them, they are known as Kusaidin. Okay, every key term is important here, sir. So this is the story of later Vedic period. I think you understood their economy, you understood their society, and you understood their polity. Is it all right? Shall we have a run through the handout from the early Vedic period society on? Yes. Okay, so after teaching here, I happen to teach in Bombay, sir. Okay, Bombay is the only place where the students have asked me to skip reading through the handout. Okay, they said that, sir, वो चाहिए नहीं है, हमको explain करते जाओ. Okay, हम लोग देख लेंगे. Okay, seriously, I'm not joking. That is the only place I have taught at many places. That is the only place where the students have asked me voluntarily to skip reading through the handout. Okay, so they were in fact a little sharp. Okay, that's one thing that I have understood. Okay, so in fact in the meantime, okay, see, I came to the eastern coast of India, then I went to the western coast of India. Okay, but in दोनों के बीच में there is such a lot of difference in the city wise. Okay, the way people are, okay, in fact moving around, behaving, it is completely different. Okay, so there is a lot of diversity. Okay, so I am lucky to have observed both the things, okay, parallelly, and again I came back to the eastern coast. Okay, in between in the central area, I stayed for some time. Then again I came back here. Okay, fine, whatever it might be. So just see this. Yes. Okay, society establishment is attributed to the incoming of Aryans from northwest. Okay, so major is their economic activities is based on pastoralism, and there were tribal wars were held. Main asset was horse-drawn chariots, okay, which were used with the help of horses. They brought their own religious system with nature worship, ritual, and sacrifice. Okay, they are a migrating tribal population. There is no stratification, and egalitarianism is present. Can you see it? Yes. Then social structure is based on kin group. Kula is called family. Grama is lineage with traceable common ancestor, and the head of Grama is called as Gramani. If it's not given there, write it down. Head of Grama is called as Gramani. Vish is the clan, common ancestor, but descent cannot be traced from him, and the head of the Vish is known as Vishayapati. And the head of Vish is known as Vishayapati. Vishayapati. And then the last one is Jana, that is tribe. Okay, is the fourth one. Okay, and the head of the Jana is known as Raja. You can write it down. Which head is Vishayapati? The head of Jana is Raja. Okay, and there is no element of class or strict Varna order. So these are linguistic group of people. They are not divided on racial lines. Classification is based on color to Sweta Varna and Dasya or Krishna Varna. I think I talked about this. Yes. Then after this, okay, if you see gender relations, patriarchal, patrilocal, and patrilinear. But women freely participated in tribal institutions like Samiti, Ghana, Vidata. Okay, so all tribal assemblies except for Sabha they used to participate in, sir. Okay, write it down. They used to participate in all other assemblies except for Sabha. I think it is given there somewhere. Yes, it's given. Okay, no need to write that. So then women freely, element of niyoga, that is widow remarriage to the brother of dead. Okay, this niyoga is also known as, in English language, it is known as levirate, sir. Okay, so maybe they can ask a question. Levirate system it is called as. Levirate. Levirate is the marrying to the dead husband's brother is known as levirate system. Okay, which is in India it is known as niyoga. Okay, system of sati was symbolic. Okay, during the end stages of early Vedic period. Okay, so origin of Varna order, it is attributed to the 10th mandala Rigveda, where there is a hymn called Purusha Sukta. Okay, so and there is no aspect of child marriage. There was a god primal Brahman. From him the 4 Varnas have emerged. Okay, based on this, society was divided into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Okay, and the professions of each Varna is given here. Yes, is it all right, sir? Now the next one is, okay, I have just given one image in order to show this Purusha Sukta, hymn. Okay, so the primeval god called Brahma, he was in fact broken down into 4 parts. Okay, and this is the case. Then predominant activity was pastoralism. Okay, so it is based on, not based on birth, but it was occupational classification. People of same family also belong to different varna. Okay, there is element of social mobility. The marriages are also conducted to different varnas, anuloma and pratiloma marriages. Is it clear, sir? So their meanings are also given there. Then famous women Vedic poets are Apala, Lopamudra, Vishwavara and Ghosha. Please write the last two names. You can ask a good prelims question on this. Vishwavara is the third one and Ghosha is the fourth one. Ghosha, Vishwavara, Apala and Lopamudra. Okay, 4 women Vedic poetess are these 4 people. Okay, so then they made gods out of different natural forces. Belief system is based on, yes sir. Okay, in fact, in the early Vedic period, there is a concept which is known as Rita. Okay, I forgot to explain about it. So let's first study about this concept called Rita. Okay, in fact, it is a ethical or moral concept of early Vedic period. So in fact, it is a system which was trying to bring order into society, sir. Okay, which was trying to bring order into society. And Rita, it has 2 meanings to it. One is, Rita is known as the cosmic order. Okay, this has been asked as a UPSC prelims question too. So this is important. Rita, in one meaning, it is known as cosmic order. And its second meaning is human order. Cosmic order means what? Okay. Cosmic order means the nature has a rhythm of its own. Yes or no? Okay, every morning the sun will come. Every night the moon will come. Then, okay, this summer season is followed by rainy season. Nature has a rhythm of its own, okay, which it doesn't break at any point of time. Are you getting this, sir? Similarly, similar to the cosmic order, there should also be human order in which all human beings who make some promises, they have to uphold them. All human beings have to fulfill their duties towards their parents, children, and the society around them. That is what ethics is all about, right? Ethics is about order in human life, where a person behaves with others in an ethical fashion. Are you following this, sir? In fact, the basis for Hindu ethical system is known as Rita. Similar to the cosmic order which the nature follows without fail, similarly the human beings also should follow ethical order, sir. And when the humans fail to follow the ethical order, this will lead to imbalance in the cosmic order, which will lead to events like floods, okay, droughts, cyclones. So these kind of things happen when the human order is broken. It will have its impact on the cosmic order. Okay, that is a basic idea of Hindu life too. Okay, whenever, okay, the unethical aspect in society it increases, some or the other natural occurrence will happen which will lead to punishment to human society. Yes or no? Many people consider COVID also to be the same. Okay, where people were in fact leading life without any limitation. That is when nature has hit back, the cosmic order has hit back on the human life. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense, sir? Are you understanding the concept of Rita? And when any human being doesn't follow Rita, it is usually known as Anartha. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Anartha means what? Okay, unethical action is known as Anartha. Okay, this is usual common Hindi term, right? Okay, Anartha. Anartha, it comes from the concept of Rita. And this is the basis for the idea of ethics in Hindu society. And from this same concept of Rita, by the time of later Vedic period, Rita led to emergence of 2 ideas, sir. One is Satya and the second one is Dharma, around which the Hindu idea of ethics always revolve around these 2 concepts. Okay, Rita se hi, one is Satya, the second one is Dharma. So these 2 concepts, they emerge from the concept of Rita. Is it all right? So what is the meaning of Dharma? What is the exact meaning of Satya? We will discuss separately. Okay, but this is the concept called Rita, sir. Is it all right? Yes. So see this. So Rita follows law and order. Sorry, belief system to preach morality to Aryans is based on Rita, that is cosmic order or natural order. Okay, Rita follows law and order, consistency in order. Anartha is if someone don't follow Rita, then it is known as Anartha. Whenever Anartha happens, it will lead to floods and other things. Rita is the moral code which associates consistency in human action. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, consistency in human action. And here you write one statement. Varuna is considered to be Varuna is considered to be the deity of Rita. Okay, the deity of Rita is Varuna. Deity means God. God. Okay, Varuna is considered to be the god of Rita. Okay, so that is the reason why whenever there is anartha, he will send the clouds in order to give heavy rainfall, or he will stop the clouds and lead to drought. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? Varna is the deity or god of Rita. Is it alright, sir? Okay, so this is the case. Varna system emerged during early Vedic period through 10th mandala, but it was based on occupational classification and not on the basis of birth. Okay, we already discussed about this. I think it is clear. Okay, pastoralism along with hunting and gathering is prominent occupation. Sapta Sindhu region, Seven River. Okay, cow is the basic unit of economy. Society was mainly nomadic. Major grain for consumption is barley, and they also used to involve in leather works too, sir. Okay, leather works are also one thing. Then gold, silver, copper, and bronze ornaments they used to wear. Okay, classification of society is based on Gomat. He is a rich man. Gopati or Gopa is king. Gavisti is known as war. Gotra is known as cowpen, where the entire society is revolving around cow. That is the reason why most of the early Vedic Sanskrit terms they derive from the concept of go. Is it alright? Now, common ownership of property is there. Society had no private ownership. King was elected and given voluntary offering by the public to the king, which is known as bhaga. I think it is bhaga given earlier. So here it is given bali. Okay. I think see, that's the reason why I was a little confused. In fact, the offering in early Vedic period, it is known as bali, sir. It's not bhaga. Okay, bali is the offering which is given to the king in early Vedic period is bali only. If it is given wrongly earlier, please change it. Okay, I think it is given a little wrongly in the polity of early Vedic period. I think it is given as bhaga, but it is bali. Please check it once. Okay, then you write one statement there. Shifting cultivation of barley is practiced. Shifting cultivation of is practiced. Which one? Shifting cultivation early Vedic period may be shifting cultivation tha. Okay, shifting cultivation was practiced. Shifting cultivation was practiced. The two only of barley. The barley is the primary crop which is cultivated in the format of shifting cultivation, sir. Is it alright? Okay, so this finishes the concept of early Vedic period. Yes, so I think Gotra concept, Varnashrama Dharma are given there. Okay, you can tick mark them, they are very simple. Okay, so class structure, sorry. Gotra institution emerged. Okay, so then Varnashrama Dharma. Okay, so the 4 Varnas I have discussed about, 4 ashramas that I have talked about. Now, the next one is later Vedic period, and usually the later Vedic period is associated with PGW. Okay, painted grey ware pottery it is called as. Okay, so in fact early Vedic period pottery, did you see? It is black and red ware, right? Yes. Here it is painted grey ware is the characteristic pot. Okay, there is one more pottery type, write it down. Okay, red slip, black ware. One more type is red slip, black ware. Okay, the pots are black, but they have a coating of red. Okay, red slip, black ware is one more, plus BRW. BRW is black and red ware pottery is common for all the ages. Okay, BRW is common, black and red ware pottery. So 3 kinds of pots are there, black and red ware. Okay, then red slip black pottery. Then the third one is this painted grey ware pottery. Okay, all right. Now just see this, sir. Migration of Vedic Aryans from Sapta Sindhu to Ganga belt. King Videga Madhava, with the help of fire god, migrated to east and settled on the bank of the river Gandak or Sadanira. Okay, Sadanira is nothing but Gandak, sir. Okay, and this is discussed in a Brahmana which is known as Shatapatha Brahmana. Write it down. Okay, the story is present in Shatapatha Brahmana. Shatapatha. The story is present in Shatapatha Brahmana. Okay, Shatapatha. See, I told you that a Veda contains Veda plus Brahmana plus Aranyaka plus Upanishad, right? So Brahmana is here Shatapatha Brahmana. Okay, Shatapatha Brahmana, he burnt forest and migrated towards east, shift from pastoralism to agriculture. Earlier Jana is replaced by Janapada. Okay, that is settlements because of sedentary lifestyle. Yes, then head of Janapada is known as king or Raj. Okay, institution of Rajan started becoming hereditary and power of Rajan increased compared to early Vedic period. Assemblies like Gana, Vidata, Parishad were abolished, Sabha and Samiti continued, but powers were reduced. There are two types of taxes. One is Bhaga and the second one is Bali. Okay, usually the Bali is 1/6 of the net produce. Write it down there. Okay, 1/6 of net produce is Bali. Then in order to collect the taxes, okay, there are two people. One is Bhagaduga, who is direct cash tax collector. The second one is this Sanghahitra, who is a treasurer. After the Bhagaduga collects the tax, he collects it and puts it in a treasury. Okay, both of them have revenue functions. Bhagaduga is tax collector, Sanghahitra is the treasurer. Ratanins are the officials of the king. 3 types of queens plus 5 types of officials are present, appointed through a ritual which is known as Ratanin Shivamsi. Is it clear? Then Brahmana Kshatriya alliance became strong. Rajan got attributed with divine characteristics. So naturally, when the sacrifices are performed by the king, he will be considered as equivalent to God. Are you understanding this, sir? So then, okay, so became very strong, and here you write, okay, this alliance is based on exchange of spirituality, exchange of spiritual status, you write, exchange of spiritual status and dana and dakshina, spiritual status and dana and dakshina, okay, between Kshatriya, sorry, or it is clear, right? Already it is given. Okay, is exchange between, okay, spiritual status and dana and dakshina. So that exchange led to the Brahman Kshatriya alliance. Rajan got attributed with divine characteristics. 3 sacrifices, Ashwamedha, Vajapiya, okay, and Rajasuya. So 3 sacrifices were present. Then along with that, from this time, one more important person of the society is this person who is known as Suta or, okay, Magadha. Okay, so who is Suta? Okay, you might be knowing about Sutaputra Karna. Okay, so Karna is Sutaputra. So Suta is in fact charioteer, sir. Okay, so from this period on, Suta became a very important person in the society, primarily because he is the sole witness to the king's war efforts, right? Okay, what the king is doing in war, the sole witness to it would be the charioteer, that is Suta. Everyone will be fighting. Only the Suta will be direct witness to the exploits of the kings. That is the reason why the kings used to give a lot of money to the Sutas or Magadas, sir. Because these people, after coming back from the war, they used to sing songs in the praise of the king in order to make him very popular among the general public. Okay, even though the king might have run away from the battlefield, these people will say that, okay, they have killed 100 people and then came back, okay, because, okay, he felt that human life is very important. Okay, so this way they create stories, and these stories, okay, in fact, this term Magadha, it has been given as a UPSC prelims question, sir. Suta or Magadha are the bards of later Vedic period. Bard means the person who composes and sings the songs in praise of king is known as bard. Are you getting this, sir? Okay, Suta or Magadha they are called as, and so these people, they wrote poems about the king's valor about after coming back from the war. Okay, and these chronicles were known as Narasamsi. Okay, so in fact Narasamsi are, okay, the chronicles of the king's exploits in war are known as Narasamsi. In fact, the Bhagavad Gita, it also continues the same tradition of Suta or Magadha. Yes or no? It is Krishna who narrates it. He is in the position of a Suta. Are you getting this, sir? So the Bardic narrative tradition, it became very, very popular, or it was so popular that in Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna takes the role of Suta. Are you understanding this? Okay, so this is the case with it, also known as chroniclers. These chronicles were called as Narasamsis or Gathas. Please write it down. Narasamsi or Gatha, it is called as Gatha. Gatha, G-A-T-H-A, Gatha. Okay, Gatha, you know, a story, Gatha, or Akhyayan, it is called as Akhyayan. Please write it down. Narasamsi, Gatha, or Akhyayan. Three names are there: Narasamsi, Gatha, or Akhyayan. Akhyayan is a dramatic story. Okay, Akhyayan, Gatha, and Narasamsi. 3 things are there. Is it all right, sir? Okay, now the next one is, okay, early Vedic period. Okay, Rita, now it became Dharma. Okay, now it became Dharma. So it is again explained the concept of Rita. Okay, but now by later Vedic period, the concept of dharma, it became more prominent, sir. Now I will explain dharma. So when it comes to dharma, dharma is considered to be, or it emerges from a word which is known as dhri. Okay, dhri is the key term or the etymology of dharma. If you study, it comes from the term dhri. Usually, dhri means a thread. A thread which is used to tie different things together is known as dhri. A thread which is used, or a rope which is used to tie different things together is known as dhri. Similarly, dharma is a thread which ties the different elements of society together into an ordered whole is known as dharma. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because in society, people will be different people will be there, different capabilities, different mindsets. Okay, so different kinds of approaches towards life will be there. All of them, okay, that are tied together in the bond of society with the help of dharma. So that is the reason why the term dharma means it is a rope which binds the society together. Is it clear? And dharma is, okay, in fact, it has many different meanings to it, sir. It doesn't have any single meaning. Usually, dharma in Western conception, okay, or Western people, they considered dharma as nothing but law and order in society. Okay, but that is just one meaning of dharma. Okay, dharma goes beyond it. Okay, it is on one side, it is law and order. On the other side, it talks about the relation between individual and society and gives higher importance to society than individual. It talks about the relation between individual and society, and it gives higher importance to society than to the individual. It is similar to Gandhi's ideology. Gandhi also gives higher importance to society than individual. Similar, sir. Where dharma, it gives higher importance to social stability than to individual freedom. Are you understanding this? So you can write it down. It's not given there. Individual freedom is lesser importance than social stability. Individual freedom is of lesser importance than social stability. Then law and order. Okay, this individual freedom is lesser important than social stability. Second one. Third one is the term or the concept dharma. It also talks about, okay, it also talks about the duties of life in various works. Duties. Dharma is also known as a duty. Okay, sometimes people tend to say, okay, do your dharma. Dharma means what? Duty. Okay, in every particular position of life, every individual has a dharma of his own. Okay, as a teacher, I have a dharma. That is my duty to teach you. Okay, as a student, you have a dharma. Okay, as a father, your father will have a dharma, mother will have a dharma. So dharma also means a duty of a person. Then along with that, okay, dharma, it also has one more meaning. Okay, so or when it is attributed with varna ashrama dharma, it is usually based on occupational classification of society. Varna ashrama dharma is what? Occupational classification of society. It means that people who are born into one particular varna, they have to live in that particular varna. See, this can be asked as a full-fledged 10-marker ethics question, sir. Okay, the concept of dharma in Indian society is in fact a very broad-reaching term than a narrow-reaching term, sir. In fact, the entire ethical thought of Hindu society, it is in fact confined into the concept of dharma. Are you understanding this? So, no. So, in fact, many Westerners, they consider dharma only to be law and order. But it goes much beyond law and order, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Is it making sense? What is it understandable, sir? Now, after this, apart from the varnashrama dharma, one more meaning of dharma. Okay, so in fact, there is a dharma called Raja Dharma, which talks about the duties of the king towards the society. Yes, Raja Dharma is very important one. Yes, you might be knowing about Vajpayee. Yes, okay. Okay, don't. Okay, so that is Raja Dharma is one more kind of dharma. Then apart from Raja Dharma, okay, so there is one more dharma which is known as Grama Dharma, which gives scope for the peculiarities of each village. Each village has a different moral or ethical principles of its own, which is known as Grama Dharma. So Grama Dharma, Raja Dharma, Varnashrama Dharma, duties of life, okay, social stability, then along with that law and order, all of these things combined together, they form the concept of dharma. Is it making sense, sir? And dharma, apart from this, it also teaches us ethics in action. There is also one more meaning. Ethics ka bhi ek meaning hai isma. Then apart from ethics, one more meaning of dharma is, dharma in fact, it helps a person in spiritual progress. Okay, dharma also has a spiritual meaning to it. In fact, okay, there are 4 arthas to human life. What are the 4 arthas to human life, sir? Okay, you might be knowing about artha, kam, moksha and dharma. Yes or no? Okay, in fact, the order is a little different, sir. Okay, dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Okay, only when you follow artha and kama, okay, in the context of dharma, then only you will be able to attain moksha. You have to pursue artha and kama. Artha means power or money. Kama means pleasure. You have to pursue them, but in the overall context of dharma. Then only you will be able to attain moksha. Is it making sense, sir? So this is also one more dharma. That is, spiritual meaning of dharma is through dharma only you will be able to attain moksha. Is it clear? So this way, the concept of dharma, it has multiple meanings to it, sir. Is it clear? And it basically emerges from the concept of, okay, rita. Okay, did you write it down, sir? Okay, the different meanings of dharma. Is it all right? Okay, so this is the story of the concept of dharma. So now let's see this. Okay, dharma means a concept which holds things together in their place, which also means order. It is interpreted as law, duty of a person, social concept on which social order is based. It is called varnashrama dharma. Okay, it is also part of the purushartha. That is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Yes, so there you can write the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, that is purushartha. Okay, purushartha. Okay, so and the primary purpose of the king is to protect dharma of the land and correct order in land. That is what is known as Raj Dharma. Is it making sense, sir? Okay, so this is the concept of dharma for us. Now, apart from this, I have just included some prominent Janapadas which were present during later Vedic period. And of these Janapadas, the most prominent one is the Kuru kingdom. Please, it is not given there. Please write it down. Kuru kingdom is the most prominent Janapada. And the most prominent rulers of the Kuru kingdom are, one is Parikshita and the second one is Janamejaya. Okay, Parikshita is in fact the son of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, not Arjuna. Okay, yes, Abhimanyu's son. Okay, so grandson of Arjuna. Okay, so Parikshita and Janamejaya of Kuru kingdom. Please write it down. Should I enlarge it? Is it visible? Oh, hand out में है. नहीं है, लिखना है. ये 3 examples लिखना है आपको. Okay, so first one is Parikshita and Janamejaya of Kuru kingdom. This is one prominent Janapada. Second prominent Janapada is this Janapada called Videha. Okay, and the king of Videha is this person called Janaka, who plays a very important role in Ramayana. Yes, Janaka, Videha. Okay, and this Janaka, he is the one who patronized, okay, this sage who is known as Yajnavalkya. Okay, Yajnavalkya is the one who is patronized by Janaka. Okay, Janaka is considered to be a philosopher king, sir. Okay, one of the greatest kings of the Janapada period is Janaka. That is the reason why his story is included in Ramayana. Okay, Parikshita and Janamejaya, they were included in Mahabharata. Yes. Okay, then the last one is, okay, these are the 2 prominent kingdoms, but there were other kingdoms also like Kuru, Panchala, Koshala, Kasi and Videha. These are the important kingdoms, sir. Okay, Kuru is one, Panchala is the second one, Koshala, Kasi and Videha. You find these names, all of them in Mahabharata. Yes, sir. Okay, in fact, the base story of Mahabharata, it derives from the Indian culture during the time of Janas and Janapadas. Okay, because the base story, that is Kurukshetra, it comes from the Dasarajanya war. Yes, then along with that, these people are also there during the period of Janapadas. And in fact, the Mahabharata as a tale, it is originally drafted by the Sutas and Magadhas themselves, sir. Okay, because it is also the oral narrative tradition of India is Mahabharata and Ramayana initially. Later day, they were drafted into compositions by Valmiki and Vasishtha. I think you might be knowing about this. Yes, they are originally part of the oral traditions which were originally drafted by the Sutas and Magadhas. Okay, but later day they got attached to the high Brahminical culture and they were taken over and written down in Sanskrit. Are you understanding this? Okay, so this is the story. Now, that is the reason why there are different versions of Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? Not a single version. Different versions have different stories in them. Is it all right, sir? Okay, so that is the case. Now, the next one is, okay, later Vedic period, you see, okay, the society and economy, it is given now. Economy is predominantly based on agriculture. Society became settled from form of state called Janapada. Janapada is where the tribe or Jana lays its foot. Kin groups started becoming weak. kin group linkage was replaced by Varna linkage. Earlier Vish was very important, kin group. Now Vish is replaced by, okay, the Varna. Varna developed with chief characteristics, that is determination by birth, Varna occupation linkage. I think I talked about these things, 5 characteristics of Varna. Yes. Then Varna endogamy, character of purity pollution scale. Dichotomy emerged between physical and intellectual work. Professional work it is given, but you can change it to intellectual work. Intellectual work. It snatched away the dignity of labor. Okay. So commensality, that is common dining and interaction, is also one more rule of Varna. Is it alright, sir? Okay. Commensality or common dining and interaction is one more rule. Okay. And also class structure emerged due to agriculture. Gotra institution has developed. You should not marry each other, that is exogamous group. Okay, so Gotra is an exogamous group. So there were 4 stages of life, 4 varnas, and it is constrained only to the 3 varnas. For Shudras, only ashrama that is permitted for them is Grihastha. Okay, the upper 3 varnas, you can write it, the upper 3 varnas are known as Dvijas. Write it down. Okay, the upper 3 varnas are known as Dvija. D-V-I-J-A. Dvija. Twice born people. Okay, Dvija means twice born people. Dvijas, Dvija, Dvija. Okay. You want me to write it? I think it's better for me. Can I pull it to this side? Okay, leave it be. Dvija. Okay, so upper 3 varnas are known as Dvijas. It's gone. Okay, now next one is these were proposed in Jabala Upanishad. It is given there. Okay, you have tick mark Jabala Upanishad. That is important. It can be asked as a prelims question. Then every Aryan male was given Purusharthas, 4 ends of life, that is Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Aryan has to follow 16 sanskaras, of which Upanayana is one. Okay, which in fact shifts the person from, okay, Brahmacharya to Grihastha. Okay, Brahmacharya to Grihastha. Then, okay, so there were rituals and sacrifices started becoming major public feasts. There was cow sacrifice. Even human sacrifice is also resorted in some places, and grain is also poured into the fire. Okay, so then along with that, Ashwamedha is present. Okay, there is horse sacrifice ritual. Then position of women declined by this stage. Niyoga was banned by this period. Pratiloma was not permitted, whereas Anuloma is permitted, sir. Okay, Pratiloma means what? Okay, yes, Prati means opposite. Loma means hair. Okay, so Loma or hair Prati. So if you comb against your hair, usually you will have a lot of friction. Yes, it means that if an upper Varna woman marries a lower Varna man, it is considered to be Pratiloma. And Pratiloma is not permitted by this time, whereas Anuloma is permitted. Are you understanding this, sir? So this is the case. So symbolic sati became actual sati by this time. New element of child marriage, polygamy became distinct. Women were confined to private spaces. Public spaces were for men only. Conflict between Brahmin versus Kshatriya for superiority. Okay, this also started by this time. Vaishyas and Shudras increased economy, but social status decreased. Okay, they in fact played a very important role in increment in economy. Grihastha and Shreshtin. Yes. So moksha was denied for Shudras and women. They were not allowed to listen or recite Vedas. Okay, during Mahajanapada, a challenge emerged through Buddhism and Jainism and other heterodox sects. Please change it to heterodox, not orthodox. Other heterodox sects. Hetero. Orthodox means, okay, people who follow the rules. Heterodox means the people, okay, who try to innovate, change the rules of society are known as heterodox sects. Is it clear? So in fact, Buddhism and Jainism, they emerged as heterodox sects, not orthodox sects. Okay, you can write one statement here. The religion practiced by Vedic Aryans in this period, the religion practiced by Vedic Aryans in this period is called Brahmanism. Is called Brahmanism. Okay, which gives significance to the Trimurti by Vedic Aryans during this period is Brahmanism. With significance given to Trimurtis. Trimurti. Trimurti. Okay, Trimurti. Trimurti. Okay, so that is the case. So then significant changes in economy. Iron as a metal is used for plowshare. Okay, so ropana also became prominent. Then cattle manure usage. Okay, write it down. Cattle manure is not given there. You can write agriculture mein they started using. Cattle manure also they started using in agriculture. Settlement started in Gangetic River Basin. Okay, so wheat, rice, barley were cultivated. Rise of wealthy merchants who are known as panis. Okay, lenders who are known as kusaidi. Okay, exchange was based on barter. They started using gold and silver ornaments for exchange. Nishaka is a gold ornament. Satamana and Krishnala. Okay, Krishnala term is not given there. Please write it down. Satamana and Krishnala is used for silver. Then emergence of Grihapatis, that is big agriculturists. Okay, so usually they are Shudras or Vaishyas. Most of them are Shudras. Okay, whereas the last one is Shreshti. Shreshti is the big trader. Okay, usually most of the Shreshtis belong to Vaishya. Okay, Vaishya Varna. Okay, so this is the case. Now this ends the later Vedic period, sir. Now we are going to enter into the time period of Mahajanapadas. Okay, Mahajanapadas time period we are going to enter, and here too, first I will discuss the polity of Mahajanapadas. Same way, okay, polity of Mahajanapadas first I will discuss, and as part of polity itself, I will also discuss about the Mauryan age, because age of Mahajanapadas it continued into the Mauryan age. So both of them polity I will discuss together. Society of Mahajanapadas and age of Mauryans is exactly the same. In economy there are some differences. I am going to discuss them separately. Is it alright? Okay, now when it comes to the age of Mahajanapadas, see, Buddhism and Jainism is also part of age of Mahajanapadas, but I will discuss them in evolution of religion. Okay, then only it will be more clear, not here. Evolution of religion, art and culture may I will talk about the Buddhism and Jainism. Now let's talk about this age of Mahajanapadas. Okay, what is the meaning of Janapada? Janapada is the territorial kingdom. Now Maha is added to Janapada. What it does it mean? Maha means large usually. Okay, so these are nothing but large territorial kingdoms which emerged from 600 BC and they continued till 300 BC. Okay, large territorial kingdoms they have emerged during this period, and in total, okay, India was divided at this point of time into 16 large territorial kingdoms, and these 16 large territorial kingdoms they are known as the Sodasa Mahajanapada. Okay, Sodasa Mahajanapada they are known as, and they were first referred to in the Buddhist text which is known as Anguttara Nikaya. Okay, Anguttara Nikaya is the text which refers to the 16 large kingdoms which are known as the 16 Mahajanapadas. Is it alright? And by this time, what happened is, okay, a proper state has emerged for the first time. Okay, a proper state has emerged for the first time, and these states they used to have nearly Saptangas. Okay, a state is considered to be an evolved state only when it contains nearly 7 elements to it. Are you following this, sir? Saptanga. Okay, what these Saptangas are, I will discuss later as part of Arthashastra. Okay, ideally a kingdom which has a king, that is Swami. Second one is Amatya or Mantri, that is ministers. Third one is Kosha, treasury. Okay, fourth one is Durga, that is fort. Fifth one is Danda, okay, that is law and order. Sixth one is Bala, that is army. Seventh one is, what is the seventh one? Kosha, Durga. Seventh one is Mitra. Mitra means ally, foreign ally. Okay, if these 7 elements are present, then only it is considered to be an ideal state, and most of the 16 Mahajanapadas they had all the ideal elements of state. Okay, what these 7 are, I have given a list later. Okay, Swami, Durga, Mantri, Kosa, okay, then Kosa, then Bala, Danda and Mitra. Okay, these are the 7 elements of state, and most of the Mahajanapadas had these 7 elements, sir. Is it clear? Now, when it comes to this age of Mahajanapadas, the kingdoms during this period they were classified into 2 types, sir. One is monarchical states, the second one is Ganasanghas. There are 2 kinds of states at this point of time. One is monarchical states and the second one is Ganasanghas. When it comes to the monarchical states, these are the states which are ruled by a single Raja. Whereas the Ganasangha polities, usually these Ganasangha polities, they are ruled by tribal assemblies. Two kinds of states are there. One is monarchical state. Second one is Ganasangha. In fact, the best example for a monarchical state is the Magadha Mahajanpada. Is it alright? Whereas the best example for a Ganasangha based state is a state which is known as the state of Lichavis. Okay, Lichavi. Okay, Lichavi is the state, okay, which is the best example for a Ganasangha. And apart from Lichavi is, okay, even the Sakya Ganasangha. Shakyas. Okay, Shakyas are in fact, they are also a Ganasangha. Buddha, he belongs to the same Sakya Ganasangha. His father Suddhodana is one of the members of the Ganasangha. He is not a king. Is it clear? So, two kinds of state. One is monarchical state, second one is Ganasangha. First, we will talk about the Ganasanghas, then we will come to the monarchical states. When it comes to the Ganasanghas, usually the Ganasanghas, they used to have, okay, tribal assemblies which are known as Shantagaras. Shantagaras are the places where the tribal assembly used to meet in. Okay, and after meeting here, okay, the membership of this tribal assembly is given to the male head of every family in the tribe. Every family's male head, he is given a membership automatically in the Shantagara. And after coming to the Shantagara, these people, they used to participate in democratic election in order to arrive at a decision, sir. And these democratic elections, they are conducted with the help of Saleka. Saleka is the bark of a tree on which, okay, the vote of a person is registered, and based on this, the voting system, it occurs, sir. Saleka is like ballot paper. Okay, it's similar to ballot paper. So on this, the person, he inscribes his opinion and he votes on the basis of this. And after collecting the salakas from all the people who are present here, okay, what happens is the decision will be taken in the tribal assembly. Is it making sense, sir? So here the decision is majority decision, and the place where they meet is Shantagara. The votes that they vote are known as Salekas. Is it clear? And most of the Ganasanghas at this point of time, they were present in northwest of India on one side, and along with that, they are also present in the foothills of Himalayas. Two places where they are present are, one is northwest of India, the second one is foothills of Himalayas. Okay, particularly during the invasion of Alexander, the Ganasanghas of northwest India, they in fact created a huge challenge for himself. Okay, particularly a Ganasangha by the name of Malla or Malloi is the one which threatened Alexander during his invasion over India. So someone of you might have watched this movie Alexander. Okay, so there is one very famous movie in which, okay, Alexander, he, okay, lifts up his horse. Okay, in attack he lifts up his horse, he makes it stand on 2 feet while fighting a war. Okay, and parallelly the Malloi king, he lifts his elephant on 2 legs, sir. Okay, looking at this scene itself, Alexander's courage, it diminishes to attack further India. Okay, so this was a very, very prominent Ganasangha which was present in northwest India is Malloi. In fact, in Mahabharata, Krishna also belongs to a Ganasangha. I think you might be knowing about this. Okay, Krishna, he is not an absolute monarch of his, okay, this tribe which is known as, what is the tribe of Krishna? Yadavas. He is not the king. Okay, in fact, he is also a Ganasangha leader of the Yadava tribe. Is it making sense, sir? Similarly, in the foothills of Himalayas, we find numerous Ganasanghas, of which the most prominent ones are Shakya is one. The second one is this Lichavis. In fact, the Lichavis, they created a confederacy of the tribal assemblies which are present in foothills of Himalayas, and this confederacy is known as the Vajji confederacy. Okay, Vajji is in fact a confederacy of 8 different tribes which are present in the foothills of Himalayas, and these 8 tribes put together, okay, and one of the tribes of these 8 tribes is the Lichavis. Is it making sense, sir, what I am trying to say? Yes. So, and the capital of this Vajji confederacy is this place which is known as Vaishali. Am I correct? Please check it once. Then the capital of Vajji confederacy is Vaishali. Okay, so Vaishali is the capital of this Vajji confederacy. Okay, now we will discuss more about it. So just see this, sir. So Vajji confederacy, foothills of Himalayas, northwest of India, tribal assemblies, Shantagaras, okay, Sallekas, okay, which are birch bark based oats. Okay, birch bark is in fact a tree bark, sir, okay, which is found in Himalayas. And usually in south, okay, whenever you find some inscriptions, you find them on Talapatra. You know Talapatra? Okay, palm leaf manuscripts. Yes. So whereas in north, if you go, all the manuscripts are made in birch bark but not on palm leaf, because palm leaf is produced only in south of India. In north you don't find palm cultivation, right? Because the climatic conditions are not suitable. So what they used to do is they used to chip off, okay, the bark of a tree called birch tree, and this birch tree bark is in fact converted into the talapatras. There. Is it understanding this? Is it understandable, sir? Now this is the story of the Ganasangas, and of these Ganasangas, the most prominent one is, one more is Sakyas. Sakya mein, okay, one of the ruler is Suddhodana and his son is Gautama. Is it clear? Similarly, Mahavira, he also belongs to one Ganasanga which is known as Jnetrika. Okay, but it is a very, very minor Ganasanga, Jnetrika. He belongs to the Jnetrika Ganasanga is Mahavira. So this way there used to be multiple number of Ganasangas. Then apart from the Ganasangas, there were some very prominent king ruled states. Okay, of these king ruled states, primarily there is a division here. Most of the states which are present in western part of India, they are in fact strong supporters of Brahmanism. Okay, Brahmanism supporters are all the states which are present in western part of India, whereas the states which are present in the Indo-Gangetic plain, okay, Indo-Gangetic plain, that too particularly from the region of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Bengal. So these three regions, okay, they are primarily supporters of heterodox sects rather than orthodox sects. Okay, these western Indian tribes are orthodox, whereas the eastern Indian states are all heterodox states. Are you following what I'm trying to say? And one of these heterodox states, one of these Mahajanapadas, the heterodox Mahajanapada of Magadha, is the one which finally annexed all the 16 Mahajanapadas under itself, which led to the emergence of Mauryan Empire. Are you understanding this? And here, okay, I have given a long list of the states along with their capitals and some important states and their kings also we are going to discuss now, but the list is not elaborately given there. So I'll dictate some things, you have to write them. So I'll tell the stories and capitals of each Mahajanapada, at least some of them, some important ones you have to remember, sir. Is it alright? Is it making sense? And king ruled statesmen, naturally there is autocracy, there is single person's rule. Whereas in Janapadas there is tribal assembly based rule. Alright? Okay, now shall we have a look at the slide now? Okay, so Mahajanapadas are bigger kingdoms. Entire area where Aryan settled divided into 16 Mahajanapadas called Saudasa Mahajanapadas. And Anguttara Nikaya gives description of the 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay, Anguttara Nikaya is part of Buddhist Tripitakas. Write it down. Is part of Buddhist Tripitaka. 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 Three. T-R-I. Buddhist Tripitaka. Pitaka. P-I-T-A-K. Okay, it is part of the Buddhist Tripitaka. Now, so had two distinct political institutions. One is king ruled states, popular assembly ruled states called Ganasangas. Vajji Confederacy in the foothills of Himalayas had 8 tribal groups. Most prominent one is Lichavis. Okay, then Sakya Ganasanga, Buddha belonged to this. Jnetrika tribe Ganasanga, okay, Mahavira, he belonged to this one. Is it clear? Now, the next one is, okay, this is the map of the Mahajanapadas. Is it given there, sir? Okay, only some prominent ones, okay, you can highlight it. Okay, I'll just ask you to highlight. You highlight some of the prominent ones. Here it is present, Ujjain is present, Avanti Mahajanapada. Okay, so there you can see the capital of Ujjain, Avanti Mahajanapada, Madhya Pradesh. Then can you see the only Mahajanapada which is present in south of India is Asmaka Mahajanapada. Asmaka, Avanti. Okay, so then along with that, if you see, here you can see in Bengal region this Anga Mahajanapada. Okay, Bengal with its capital at this place called Champa. Okay, Champa is its capital. Okay, just highlight some of them. Then second one is Magadha here with its capital at Rajgriha, Bihar region. Yes. So next one is Vajji Confederacy with its capital at Vaishali. It is present in the foothills of Himalayas, right? Yes. Okay, then one more is Malla Mahajanapada with its capital at Kusinara. Okay, there is a place where Buddha died. I think you might be knowing about it. Okay, so later I will discuss, but Malla Mahajanpada Kusinara. Then one more is this Kosala Mahajanpada is present. Kosala. Okay, so Kosala Mahajanpada's capital is, one of the capitals is Ayodhya, sir. Okay, Ayodhya is one capital of the Kosala Mahajanpada. Okay, one more capital is Shravasti, but the important one is the southern capital, that is Ayodhya. Okay, so then along with that, you have the Panchala kingdom here with its capital at this place called Ahichatra. Ahichatra is the capital of Panchala kingdom. One more kingdom is the Kuru kingdom there. Kuru's capital is Indraprastha. First, initially it was Hastinapura, later day it was Indraprastha. Yes, Pandava, Kaurava. Okay, the story is of Kuru clan. Yes, then one more is Matsya, okay, whose capital is this place called Viratnagara. Okay, you might be knowing in Mahabharata, the Pandavas go for okay, Agnatavasa in Viratnagara. Okay, it is known as Virata Parva. Okay, the part of Mahabharata is known as Virata Parva. Okay, it is in fact, it happens in this Viratnagara only. Then apart from that, you directly go to this last one, that is Gandhara Mahajanpada. Can you see? Okay, Gandhara Mahajanpada. Okay, and it had its capital, one capital is at Takshila, one capital is at Pushkalavati. Pushkalavati is nothing but today's Peshawar. Yes, Peshawar is Pushkalavati. Pushkalavati and Takshila. These are the capitals of the Gandhara Mahajanpada. Okay, the last one is Kamboja Mahajanpada is there with its capital at Kapisa. Kapisa is nothing but Kabul. Okay, Kamboja Mahajanpada. Okay, so all of these are important ones. In fact, you might be knowing in Mahabharata from Gandhara Mahajanpada itself, Gandhari comes, Shakuni also comes from the same place. Okay, so in fact, all these are covered here, but you see it, sir. See, till here, till the Kosala Mahajanpada, there is domination of Brahmanism. But to the eastern part of India, there is domination of heterodox sect, sir. Is it alright? Now, I will discuss the brief stories of some of the kings who are present here. Brief stories, just one or two liners, which can be asked as good questions, sir. Is it alright? So, of these rulers, in fact, in Avanti, okay, there is a very, very prominent ruler by the name of Pradyogatanda. Okay, Pradyogatanda is the ruler of Avanti. Okay, Chandra Pradyogatanda he is known as. So, he is a very, very prominent ruler of Avanti, and he is a contemporary to, okay, the ruler of Magadha by the name of Bimbisara. Okay, Bimbisara's contemporary he was, and he has a very famous daughter by the name of Vasavadatta. Okay, and this Vasavadatta, she was married to the king of Kosala kingdom by the name of, okay, Udayin. Okay, and this story of marriage between Udayin and Vasavadatta, it is part of a very prominent play which is known as Swapna Vasavadatta, which was originally written by Bhasa. Okay, so they will ask questions this way only, sir. Okay, with respect to Bhasa's Swapna Vasavadatta, it is the story of which of the following ages? Okay, it is the story of age of Mahajanapadas, when Chandra Pradyogatanda's daughter Vasavadatta, she performs a Gandharva marriage with the Kosala king by the name of Uday. Getting what I'm trying to say? So Udayin is the Kosala king, okay, and Gandharva marriage means what? She has eloped with him and they have married together. Gandharva marriage is marriage by elope. Okay, eloping means, I think you understand, right? Okay, so yes, okay, so this is one. Then apart from this, okay, so one more important thing about this is, one second, sir. Okay, I'll dictate some of them. Okay, so just see this. First, let's finish this off. Ganasanga polity, geographical extent, northwest frontier region, foothills of Himalayas. Santagaras are tribal assemblies. Head of every family is represented who is called as Raja. Head of every family in Ganasanga is known as Rajan. Decisions are made by voting process using 3 branches which are known as Salekas. Salekas. Okay, so then king ruled states have elaborate kingdom with council of ministers, bureaucrats, standing military. There is Saptangas, you write it there. Okay, so king ruled states have Saptangas. Okay, and this period is usually associated with second wave of urbanization. I think I talked about this when I was talking about the chronology. Okay, it is Saptanga theory. All right. Now, just see this. Okay, so second wave of urbanization occurred during this time. Second wave of urbanization occurred during this time. Now, if you see the important cities, okay, Magadha had 2 capitals, sir. One is Rajgriha, second one is Patliputra. Okay, Rajgriha is also known as Giri Vraja. Okay, Vraja means usually fort. Giri means mountain. Okay, this Rajgriha is also known as Giri Vraja because it is having mountains as its fortification. Right now, Giri Vraja means mountain fort. Giri Vraja means mountain fort. Mountain fort is called Giri Vraja. Okay, second one is Patliputra. Patliputra is known as Jaladurga, sir. Okay, Durga means fort again. Okay, so Jaladurga means, okay, it is in fact, okay, fortified by water. Jaladurga. Patliputra is called as Jaladurga. Jaladurga. Second one is Koshala with one of its capital at Ayodhya. Third one is Asmaka with its capital at Potana. Okay, now you write the other ones. Okay, Anga is given there. Anga with its capital at Champa. No. Okay, Anga with its, write it down. Okay, from here on you have to write them down. Anga with its capital at Champa, and two prominent port towns. Two prominent port towns. Port towns. One is Tamralipti. Okay, very, very prominent one, sir. This can be asked as a very good prelims question. One is Tamralipti. Tamralipti. Okay, Tamralipti is nothing but today's Tamluk. You might be knowing about Tamluk, right? Okay, is it part of Odisha or Bengal? Bengal. Okay, so Bengal. Okay, Anga means Vanga. Vanga means Bengal. You getting this? Okay, the same name. Tamralipti. Tamralipti is one. Second one is Chandraketugara. Chandraketugara. Chandraketugara is the second one. Chandraketugara. Okay, Tamralipti and Chandraketugara are two prominent port towns of this Anga Mahajanpada with its capital at Champa. Then, okay, so that's what. Okay, so the second one is Vatsa. Vatsa Mahajanpada. Write it down. Vatsa. Vatsa Mahajanpada with its capital at Kaushambi. Yes, sir. Vatsa with its capital at Kaushambi, and Udayan is the ruler. Okay, that's the reason why I was a little confused. He is not the ruler of Kosala, he is ruler of, okay, Vatsa, Udayan, who got married to Vasavadatta. King is Vatsa, Kaushambi is capital, king is Udayan, who got married to Vasavadatta, who got married to Vasavadatta of Avanti, Vasavadatta of Avanti, and this story, write it down, Vasavadatta of Avanti, and this story is the central theme of Bhasa's Swapna Vasavadattam. Bhasa's Swapna Vasavadatta. Bhasa's Swapna Vasavadattam. Okay, so it is a play, drama. See, whenever I say some drama is important, you put a star mark there. Open the Wikipedia page and read the plot of the drama, sir. Okay, because plot pe they are asking questions. Okay, important characteristics: Bhasa's Swapna Vasavadatta, and Harsha's and Harshavardhana's Priyadarsika and Ratnavali. Priyadarsika and Ratnavali. Harshavardhana's Priyadarsika and Ratnavali also revolve around the same story. Priyadarsika and Ratnavali also revolve around the same story. Yeah. What, sir? Ratnavali and Harshavardhana is the king. King Harshavardhana. The same Harshavardhana, he wrote a story. See, these were part of the folk tradition of India, these stories. They were further developed by Harshavardhana into a proper Sanskrit drama. Bhasa also belongs to Guptan period, but he wrote about the Mahajanapada age. Are you understanding this, sir? So Bhasa is Gupta period, he wrote about the age of Mahajanapada. Similarly, Harshavardhana, Ratnavali and Priyadarsika, both these dramas are written on the base story of the love story between Udayan and Vasavadatta. Okay, just like Shakuntala and Dushyanta, these two are also a very prominent pair in Indian history, sir. Okay, so around them a love story revolves, around which numerous Sanskrit dramas have been written. So that is the reason why these two are important. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Then the next one is, okay, after this Koshala is the next kingdom. Koshala. Okay, so and it had two capitals. One is Shravasti, second one is Ayodhya. Okay, Ayodhya is nothing but Awadh or Ayodhya. So two capitals they had, and the prominent ruler here is Prasenjit. Okay, write it down. Write it down. Prasenjit is a prominent ruler. Prasenjit. Okay, Prasenjit is a prominent ruler. Prasenjit, and he established a matrimonial alliance with Bimbisara. He established a matrimonial alliance with Bimbisara. Alliance with Bimbisara, for which Bimbisara got Kasi as dowry. For which Bimbisara got Kasi as dowry. Okay, the Mahajanapada of Kasi was defeated by Prasenjita, and he gave it away to his sister by the name of Kosaladevi. Okay, her name is not important, but you should remember this transaction. Then, okay, Kosala is involved in the extermination of the Sakya Ganasanga of Buddha. Okay, Sakya, in the extermination of the Sakya Ganasanga of Buddha during the time of Viruddhaka. During the time of Viruddhaka. Okay, the person's king's name is Viruddhaka. After Prasenjita, Viruddhaka became the ruler, and he is the one who completely exterminated the Sakya Ganasanga. That is the reason why we don't have any people today who claim themselves to be the descendants of Sakyas, because all the Sakyan people were exterminated by this person called Viruddhaka. And it is considered to be a great tragedy in Buddhist literature, and it was done by Viruddhaka. This can be asked as a good question, sir. Extermination means there was a war. He was imperial in ambition. He wanted to annex the Sakyas, Kapilavastu, into his kingdom. So in war, he killed all the Sakyas and annexed the kingdom into Kosala. Is it alright? Okay, Viruddhaka. Okay, now the next one is, okay, so others are not important. Already I have made you designate Panchala's capital Ahichatra in map, need not write. Okay, then Matsya's capital is Viratnagara. Then the last one is Avanti with its capital at Ujjain. Write it down. Avanti with its capital at Ujjain. Prominent ruler is Pradyoga, okay, or Pradyota, it is known as. Here it is given. Write it down. Pradyota is the prominent ruler. Okay, prominent ruler. Okay, and his daughter is Vasavadatta. His daughter is Vasavadatta. The rest of it I have dictated above. Okay, his daughter is Vasavadatta. Okay, his daughter is Vasavadatta. Is it alright, sir? This can be asked as a very good prelims question. Okay, so please remember it clearly. You put a star mark there. Okay, this Udayin and Vasavadatta story. Okay, it is an interesting love story, sir. You can read the plot too. Okay, it's good. Okay, Vasavadatta, she disappears after marriage. Okay, Udayin thinks of her to be dead. Okay, then after that he wants to marry the princess of Magadhan Empire. Then Vasavadatta comes back. Okay, so this kind of reveal is there. Okay, so many good things are there. You can read the plot once. Okay, it's good. Okay, now next one is Gandhara's capital is Takshila. I already talked about it. Okay, Asmaka capital is Pratishthan. You highlight that. Okay, Asmaka capital is Pratishthan. Then Malla capital is Kusinara, where Buddha died. Write it down. Okay, Vajji's capital is Vaishali. Okay, Vajji's capital is Vaishali. Malla's is Kusinara, where Buddha died. You write. It is a place where Buddha died. Okay, Kusinara. Magad capital is, first is Rajgriha. Later day they shifted their capital to Patliputra. Okay, and from then on Patliputra it continued as the capital of India from the time of Magadhans to, okay, the time of Harshavardhan. Okay, it was a continuous capital of India. Okay, during the Guptan period also it was the capital of the Guptan Empire. So it was a very, very prominent city at the point of time, sir. Now, let's discuss about the Magadha Mahajanapada. Okay, what it has, what is its history, we are going to talk about. Then after the Magadha Mahajanapada, some rulers of Magadha Mahajanapada we need to know in detail, we will study about them. When it comes to the Magadha Mahajanapada, okay, I told you that it is present in the Bihar region of India. Okay. Okay, Magadha Mahajanapada is present in the Bihar region of India. And in fact, the power of Magadha Mahajanapada, it is attributed to some geographical characteristics of the Magadha Mahajanapada, sir. Okay, primarily the Magadha Mahajanapada, it was surrounded by very dense forests, sir, which provided natural defense to them. And along with natural defense, these dense forests, they hosted elephants. And one of the strongest element of Magadha Mahajanapada is its capability to harness elephants in warfare, sir. They used to do or perform elephant based warfare, and that is one of their core strength. Then the third one is the wood which is present in these forests. It was cut and it was used for fortification of their cities, sir. All the Magadhan cities, they were fortified with wooden walls, and just around the wooden wall they used to dig a trench which is known as a moat, and in this moat they used to fill water, and in the water they used to leave crocodiles in order to save their own capital from any enemy attack. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So then apart from this, the Magadha Mahajanapada's dominance, it also comes primarily from the iron ore which is present in the Jharkhand region. Okay, Jharkhand region is known for its iron ore, right? So in fact, they had the control over the iron mines of Jharkhand, so which led to significant military might for these people, because they were able to develop numerous weapons of destruction, sir. Then apart from this, the Magadha Mahajanapadha's dominance, it is also an outcome of very ambitious kings who emerged in Magadha Mahajanapada. And these ambitious kings, they started from Bimbisara, then later day Ajatasattu, then Mahapadmananda, then Chandragupta Maurya, then Bindusara, then last one is Ashoka Maurya. All of them belong to the same Magadha Mahajanapada. So because of these ambitious kings also, the power of this Magadha Mahajanapada, it has increased. And apart from the ambitious kings, the kingdom is also blessed with very intelligent ministers too. Okay, primarily you might be knowing about Kautilya or Chanakya, who helped Chandragupta Maurya to gain power. In fact, there was one more prominent minister of the Nandas by the name of Rakshasa. Okay, Nanda minister is Rakshasa. Then apart from that, Ajatasattu also had a very prominent minister of his own, and this minister is known as Vasikar. Okay, see their names. Okay, Vasikar is one, Rakshasa is one more. Okay, so the names themselves, they are in fact having a lot of negative connotation, right? So this Vasikara is in fact the minister of Ajatasattu, and he played a very important role in the destruction of Vajji Confederacy. Because in Vajji Confederacy, there are 8 tribal assemblies. In fact, Bimbisara, he tried to defeat them, but he was unsuccessful. Later day, Ajatasattu tried to attack them, but for 9 years he fought a war with them, but he was unable to defeat them. At this point of time, Vasikara, he goes to Buddha, sir, and asks Buddha, see, you are also coming from a Ganasanga. Okay, my king, he wants to defeat this Vajji Confederacy. So please tell us a way to defeat the Vajji Confederacy. Okay, he asks Buddha. Then Buddha tells to Vasikar by saying that he gives a story. So he asks some questions to Vasikar. He says that are the Vajjis conducting their tribal assemblies regularly or not? He asks one question. Then Vasikar, he answers saying that yes, they are conducting the tribal assemblies very regularly. Number one. Second one is there unity among the 8 tribes who are present there? Then Vasikar, he says that yes, there is absolute unity between the 8 tribes. Then Buddha says that till the time they conduct tribal assemblies, till the time they are united, you can't do anything to them. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Now Vasikar, he comes back from Buddha. Now he started plotting, sir, and his plotting is primarily focused on dividing the 8 tribes among themselves. Second one is promoting conflict within the tribes, sir. Okay, Buddha gave a positive thing, or he gave a positive note of these tribal assemblies, but he understood it in the opposite fashion. And what he did is he started dividing these tribes, and through dividing them, he was able to make Ajatasattu victorious in this war against the Vajji Confederacy. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So this is one important story of Vasikar. Then Chanakya, we know already he is known for his okay, Arthashastra, which is based on realistic politics. Then Rakshas is one more prominent minister of the Nanda dynasty, sir. So these are the prominent ministers. Because of them also the Magadhan empire, it became very powerful. Now we need to know briefly about some rulers of this Magadhan empire. Okay, the first dynasty to sit on this Magadhan empire is this Haryanka dynasty. Okay, and the most prominent ruler of Haryanka dynasty is Bimbisara, and he is the one who started the imperial ambition of the Magadhan empire, and he started expanding the Magadhan empire. Number one is through matrimonial alliances. Number two is, okay, so apart from matrimonial alliances, he also started waging wars with some Mahajanapadas, and through this method also he expanded his Mahajanapadas, sir. The first one we already talked about the marriage between the sister of Prasenjita and Bimbisara, for which he got Kasi as a dowry. Yes. Then second thing is he was also married to a Lichavi princess, sir. Okay, Lichavi princess of Vraji confederacy he was married to. Second one. Third one is he is also married to a woman from the Madra, okay, Mahajanapada. Madra Mahajanapada is present in Punjab region. He was also married to a princess from the Madra Mahajanapada. Three things. Then apart from that, he fought a war against the Anga Mahajanapada, and after fighting this war, he annexed the Anga Mahajanapada into Magadha Mahajanapada. Is it clear? Bihar, Bengal. So both these regions were joined together by Bimbisara. Then apart from this, he also established friendly relations with some of the kings, sir. So this is very important, and as part of this friendly relations itself, he reached out to the king of Avanti, that is Pratyodha. Okay, Pratyodha he reached out to. Okay, particularly by this time, Pratyodha he was suffering from, okay, a sickness or a disease which is incurable, sir. So, and at this point of time, in his court, okay, in the court of Bimbisara, there was a very, very prominent physician of India by the name of Jivaka. Okay, Jivaka is his name. He was in fact a physician who was trained at Takshila. And after this, he comes back to the Magadhan court, and he was sent in order to treat Pratyodha. Are you getting this, sir? And this is the person who traveled both on, okay, the Dakshinapatha and Uttarapatha. In fact, a record is clearly present wherein Jivaka is shown, okay, to be traveling on Uttarapatha. Uttarapatha is the northern route. Yes or no? Dakshinapatha is the southern route. The northern route, in fact, it starts at Takshila or Purushapura and it extends till Chandraketu. Are you understanding this? Then the southern route, in fact, it connects Patliputra to Ujjain first, and from Ujjain, it moves on to the south and reaches to the Tamil country, sir. Are you getting this? Are you following what I am trying to say? Okay, these are the two routes, and Jivaka he traveled on both routes. First, after studies, he came from Takshila to Patliputra. From Patliputra, he went to Ujjain through, okay, the Dakshinapatha route. Is it clear? So Jivaka is very, very important person here. He is a physician. So this way Bimbisara he ruled, and he ruled in total for nearly 52 years, sir. Okay, and because of his extended rule, he was able to maintain very peaceful conditions in Magadha. Okay, but he had a son by the name of Ajatasatru. Okay, he was in fact, okay, very much bored by his father's extended, okay, rulership. So what this person is, he plotted and he assassinated his own father, okay, in the first instance of parricide in Indian history. So he killed his father and he became the next ruler by taking the title of Ajatasatru. Is it clear? Okay, Ajata Shatru is the title that he has taken, and his prominent contribution is, in fact, Bimbisara, okay, he is directly related to Mahavira. Mahavira, he is directly related to, both of them are cousins. Okay, because Mahavira's father is also married to a Lichavi princess. The mother of Lichavi princess, okay, and Bimbisara's wife, they are sisters. Are you getting what I am trying to say? Okay, this is one. Then apart from that, during the time of Bimbisara itself, Buddha is also present. Okay, Buddha used to regularly visit the court of Bimbisara. Okay, but after the death of Bimbisara, okay, Mahavira, he also died at the same time. But Buddha, he was also a contemporary to Ajatasatru. I told about the story of, okay, this Vasikara. So he went and met Buddha. Yes. So here Buddha is contemporary to both Bimbisara and Ajatasatru, whereas Mahavira is contemporary only to Bimbisara. Is it making sense, sir? Then after this, one more important thing about, okay, this Ajatasatru is, Ajatasatru, he is the one who destroyed the Vajji confederacy. Then apart from destroying the Vajji confederacy, he during his lifetime, he waged numerous wars against Avanti. He faced fought numerous wars against Avanti, and he also fought and annexed the Kosala Mahajanapada. Okay, Kosala is gone. Magadha, Anga, Vraji is annexed. Now he had a very large empire, but during his lifetime he attacked numerous times the Avanti Mahajanpada, but the Avanti Mahajanpada, it remained independent from Ajatasatru's control. Is it clear? Then here Ajatasatru, he is considered to be a major military innovator too, and he developed two unique war missions, sir. Okay, one war mission is called as Mahasilakantakar. The second one is known as this, just take it once. Ratana Masul. Okay, Mahasilakantakar is a catapult which throws stones. You might have seen in Bahubali movie. Okay, this catapult which throws stones. Okay, that is Mahasilakantakar. Second one is Ratamasula. Ratamasula is the chariot which is fixed with the swords on all sides. Okay, that is also shown in Bahubali movie. Okay, chariot fixed with swords. So these two military innovations were originally made by Ajatasatru, sir. Is it making sense? Okay, so this is the story of Ajatasatru. Okay, so who is a contemporary of Buddha. Okay, after Ajatasatru, the next prominent ruler is Udayan. Udayan is the son of Ajatasatru. He is the one who shifted the capital from, okay, Rajgriha to Patliputra, sir. Okay, it's given wrongly there. Okay, I'll first discuss these things, then I will go to that section, sir. Okay. Okay, Magadha became the strongest Mahajanpada because of geographical settings in present day Bihar, Ganga Delta, so which led to huge agricultural surplus. Agricultural surplus leads to large population, right? Yes, so write it down. Agricultural surplus led to large population. Led to large population. They had thick jungles, they had river courses, iron ore minerals, thick forests, economic prosperity because they had control over, okay, this Uttarapata which connects Purushapura with Chandraketugara. Yes, it's given there, right? Purushapura to Chandraketugara. Okay, that is the Uttarapata, the northern route of India. And there were also heterodox sects were more prominent. Yes, I forgot to tell about it. Here in eastern part of India, the heterodox sects are more prominent than orthodox sects. Okay, which led to, okay, so in other regions where the Vedic sect is popular, performance of sacrifices was present. Okay, please write one statement there. Okay, so the rulers of Magadha were not involved in rituals and sacrifices. Did not involve in ritual and sacrifices, which led to significant saving of cattle wealth. Significant saving of cattle wealth, which is a reason for significant saving of cattle wealth, which is a reason for their economic dominance. Which is a reason for their economic dominance. Which is a reason for their economic dominance. Then, okay, ministers and kings with imperial ambitions, Bimbisara, Ajatasatru, Mahapadmananda, Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, and ministers like Vasikara of Ajatasatru, Kautilya of Chandragupta Maurya, and Rakshasa. Please write it down. Rakshasa for the Nandas. Okay, Rakshasa for the Nandas. Nanda. Yes, Nanda. Okay, yes.
We have been always hit by the floods.
Yes.
The condition is not very fertile.
Yes.
So
See, yes. See, when the forests were newly cleared, okay, the land naturally will be more fertile. Yes, number one factor. And okay, initially when only a few forests were cut, okay, the land was very suitable for agriculture, sir. But later day, with the population increase during British colonial rule, all the forests were cut down. And once the forests were cleared off completely, the river courses speed that it has increased. The chances of flooding have increased. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? That is the reason why it has got converted into a wasteland. But at one point of time, it is in fact one of the most fertile lands of India because there was a balance between forest and agricultural land. During British time, this balance got imbalanced. Are you following this? Okay, so there was large scale clearing of forest. Even in post-independent India also the same thing continued. In fact, there were very good forests in Bihar region called Terai forests. I think you might be knowing about them. So which were actually the homelands of a lot many tigers. Yeah, but this Terai forest region was completely cleared off in order to accommodate the population. Is it alright? So that is the reason why one of the regions which has dominated the Indian history throughout the ancient times, today it is one of the most backward regions of India.
Connecting Mumbai and Kolkata.
Yes, yes. Okay, many things, sir. Okay, in fact, the Bihar region, the forests were completely depleted. Okay, completely depleted. You don't find any major national park in Bihar today. You don't think so that there is no major national park in Bihar. Okay, most of the area is in fact inhabited by people. Okay, so that is the case. Okay, now the next one is, okay, if you see, so ministers were Vasikara, Kautilya, and the last one is this person, Rakshasa. Now Haryanka dynasty, Bimbisara is the first ruler. So please write his timeline, sir. 546 to 494 BC. 546 to 494 BC. Nearly 52 years he has governed, right? Yes. So because the time runs before Christ in reverse. Yes or no? Okay. So imperialism. No, this is not our convention. It is Western convention, but we follow it. Okay, before Christ and okay, Anno Domini. Anno Domini is the time period after the birth of Christ. Okay, so it is also called as AC, after Christ. This is BC, before Christ. We follow the Western convention, but in India the eras are okay. There used to be some eras. Okay, Vikrama era, Shaka era. Okay, right now the Indian government also follows the calendar of Shaka era. All right. Okay, I'll talk about them later. Now just see this, sir. War, imperialism, war, matrimonial alliances and friendly relations. Through war he annexed Anga Mahajanpada and captured Chandraketugara and Tamralipti. Then friend is king of Ujjain, that is Avanti Mahajanpada. King is Pradyogatanda. When ill he sent his minister Jivaka, and he is also related to Mahavir. Okay, marriage alliance with Kosala, got Kasi. Vajji confederacy, Lichavi princess, he got married to, and he also got married to the princess of Madra in Punjab. Is it clear? Then the next one is Ajatasattu, contemporary of Buddha. Yes, he is a contemporary of Buddha. First incident of parricide, killed his own father. Okay, so took over Vajji confederacy, Kosala Mahajanpada, established Patliputra, and his son Udayin shifted the capital to Patliputra. Please change it there. It's given wrongly. It is given that he shifted the capital to Patliputra. He established Patliputra, but it is his son. Udayin, who shifted the capital to Patliputra. Okay. Then he also did two military innovations. One is Mahasila Kantaka and the second one is Ratamasura. So Mahasila Kantaka is rock catapult. Okay, rock catapult. Okay, this Ratamasula is okay, chariot fixed with swords. Okay, you can write them down. Okay, chariot fixed with swords. Okay, so then after them, okay, after the fall of the Haryanka dynasty, the next ruling dynasty is the Sisunaga dynasty. Please write down. Okay, Sisunaga dynasty took power. It's not given there. Please write it down. Not much. Only one line is there. So you write down. So after Haryanka, the next dynasty is Sisunaga dynasty. Sisunaga dynasty took power, and the prominent ruler is Kalashoka. Okay, Kalashoka is the prominent ruler, not our Ashoka Maurya. Okay, this person is Kalashoka. He is a different ruler of Sisunaga dynasty, and he is known for conducting the second Buddhist council, sir. Known for conducting the second Buddhist council. Okay, Ajatasattu, okay, Bagal mein you write, he conducted the first Buddhist council. Ajatasattu is the one who conducted the first Buddhist council. Kalashoka is the one who conducted the second Buddhist council. Okay, none of them are important, only Kalashoka. The two primarily because of his association with the second Buddhist council, he is prominent. Then after him, Okay, the next ruling dynasty is, okay, the ruling dynasty of Nandas, sir. Okay, of the Nandas, the most prominent ruler is Mahapadmananda. Okay, he is considered to be the first emperor of India. Okay, he is the one who took the title of Ekrat. Okay, you highlight the title. His title is Ekrat. Okay, Ekrat is emperor, and he is the one who, for the first time, united all the 16 Mahajanapadas, sir. He was able to take over, okay, Avanti Mahajanapada, and along with that, he is the one who first took over the province of Kalinga. Please write down. It's not given. He is the one who first took over the province of Kalinga. Okay, Kalinga is Odisha. Okay, Kalinga province. He is the one who took over Kalinga for the first time. Kalinga for the first time. In fact, you might be knowing about this inscription called Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavela. The Hathigumpha inscription, it talks about, yes, it's nearby only. I also have seen the place. Okay, I have seen the inscription too. So it is present in this Kandagiri Udayagiri hills. Yes, so there this Hathigumpha inscription is present. In the Hathigumpha inscription, Kharavela himself states that Mahapadmananda is the first ruler from Magadha to conquer Kalinga region. And Mahapadmananda is also very well known for his irrigation work, sir. Okay, he is the one who for the first time in India started constructing canals. Canal irrigation is started by Mahapadmananda. It's not given there, write it down. Canal irrigation is started by him. Number one, canal irrigation is started by him. Canal based irrigation is started by him in Kalinga, and he is referred to by, canal based irrigation is started by him in Kalinga, and he is referred by Kharavela's Hathigumpha inscription. Is referred by Kharavela's Hathigumpha inscription. Okay, but he is the one who is originally belonging to a Shudra Varna, sir. Okay, till then all the rulers that we discussed about, most of them they belong to the Kshatriya Varna. He is the first ruler who belonged to a Shudra Varna, and by profession his family are barbers, sir. Okay, from barber family, from very humble origins he has come, but he became one of the greatest rulers, and he became the first emperor of India by the name of Mahapadmananda. Is it clear, sir? And by faith he is a Jain. Okay, he is a Jain by faith. Okay, then after Mahapadmananda, okay, the next ruler, okay, so next ruler who was prominent here is Dhanananda. Dhanananda is the son of, okay, Mahapadmananda. Okay, and Dhanananda is the one or the ruler of India during the time of Alexander's invasion over India. Okay, and he had a large army of his own which contained nearly 6 lakh men in infantry, sir, and more than 50,000 elephants he used to have. Okay, it is said in figures that he had nearly 50,000 elephants and 6 lakh men as his army. Listening to the stories of the armies of Dhanananda itself, Alexander, he went back from, okay, the northwest of India. And even though Dhanananda had such large army, he was very inefficient administrator, sir. Very inefficient administrator. He had nearly 8 sons of his own, okay, and most of them are sociopaths. Okay, so some are psychopaths, some are sociopaths. Okay, so this way these people are not very suitable for administration. And Dhanananda also used to collect excessive amount of taxes in Magadha Mahajanapada. Okay, because of this excessive taxation, he was not liked by the people of Magadha, number one. Then at the same time, okay, what he did is during his rule, he disrespected one famous Brahmin Purohita who is known as Chanakya. Okay, because of this disrespect of Dhanananda and his sons itself, Chanakya, he started searching for an alternative to the rulership of Nandas. And at this point of time, when he was roaming around in the plains of Bihar region, so at that place, he found a tribal group who are known as Mauryas. And in the Mauryas, he identified a child by the name of Chandragupta Maurya, and he took him to his side and he trained him throughout his life. And with the help of Chanakya itself, okay, Chandragupta Maurya, he was able to take over the power in the Magadhan Empire. Is it all right? So initially, the rebellion of Chandragupta Maurya, it occurred in Punjab region, okay, but he was unsuccessful. Then later day, what he did is he migrated from the Punjab region and came to Magadha, and in Magadha through a palace coup. Palace coup means what? Coup means, okay, killing of the king and establishment of a new king. So through a palace coup, okay, Chandragupta Maurya and Chanakya, both of them, they assassinated Dhanananda and they took over the power. And in this assassination of Dhanananda, the most important role is played by Rakshasa. Okay, in fact, the story of Rakshasa's involvement in the murder of Dhanananda, it comes as a story called Mudra Rakshas, okay, which is a very famous drama, okay, which was written by Shudraka. Yes. Okay, Mudra Rakshasa story is the story of Chandragupta Maurya taking power from, okay, Dhanananda through the help of Rakshasa. Okay, in fact, the story of Mudra Rakshasa is very interesting, sir. I'll just briefly narrate it. So, what happens is Rakshasa is a very loyal servant of Dhanananda. Very, very loyal servant, and he's a prime minister of the Nanda state. Okay, he's a very important Amatya. So, what happens is Chanakya, he makes Chandragupta Maurya steal one of the rings of Dhanananda first. And after stealing this ring, what he does is he hires some assassins and gives them the ring of the king and asks them to go and assassinate Rakshasa. And he intimates Rakshasa beforehand that the king's spies are coming and killing him. Then Rakshasa, he catches hold of the spies. And when they were searched, they were able to find the ring of Dhanananda. It means that Dhanananda is responsible for or planning to assassinate Rakshasa. That is the reason why when Chandragupta Maurya, he rebelled against Dhanananda in the city of Patliputra, the Magadhan army, it remained completely loyal to Dhanananda, completely loyal to Rakshasa. And Rakshasa, he does not send his army to suppress the rebellion of Chandragupta Maurya. The people were also vexed by Dhanananda and his sons by then. They also did not come in support of Dhanananda. So very easily Chandragupta Maurya was able to assassinate Dhanananda, and he was able to take over the throne. And in the process, he killed his 8 sons too. Are you getting this? That is the reason why this story is very important. Mudra is usually means ring. Here, Mudra Rakshas is the story name. Why? Because through this ring only, they were able to cheat Rakshasa, and through cheating him, Mudra Rakshas. Ring. Mudra means ring. Ring of Rakshasa. Ring and Rakshasa is the story. Mudra Rakshas, which is a very, very prominent play of Sudraka. It revolves around the story of Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya and Dhanananda. Is it making sense, sir? In fact, when he first tried to rebel from Punjab, his forces were destroyed by Dhanananda's army, sir. Okay, at this point of time, what happened is Kautilya, he teaches a lesson, through a mother and her child. Okay, this is a very prominent story. In fact, a child directly, his mother gives him food on a plate, which is very hot food. The child tries to eat from the center. So his mouth gets burnt. So then his mother tells to him that he has to eat from the sides first. So this way there are many stories associated with it. All of them are not important, but the story of Mudra Rakshas is very, very important. It can be asked as a very good question, sir. Shudraka's play Mudra Rakshas, even though Shudraka belonged to the Guptan age, he wrote a story of the Mauryans. Is it alright? In fact, they had a very strict sense of historicity. They knew what history is. Are you following this? Now just see this, sir. So Sishunaga dynasty, after that Mahapadmananda, first emperor of India, title is Ekrath. He is emperor. He is Jain by faith, belonged to Shudra Varna. He is barber by profession. So he was able to take over all the 16 Mahajanpadas, added Kalinga to Magadha. Then after that, Dhanananda, invasion by Alexander. Kautilya was thrown out, met Chandragupta Maurya, and with the help of Rakshasa, please write it down. And with the help of Rakshasa, they assassinated, the help of Rakshasa, minister of Nandas. What did you write? The help of Rakshasa, Mudra Rakshasa, book written by Shudraka. Rakshasa and minister of Nandas assassinated by Chandragupta Maurya. CG Maurya, you can write Chandragupta Maurya, which led to establishment of Mauryan Empire. Which led to establishment of Mauryan Empire. Is it clear, sir? So this is the prominent story of Chandragupta Maurya, Kautilya or Chanakya and Rakshasa. Is it alright? So the plays are very important, sir. Whenever there is a historical play of a particular age, there will be a good question. In fact, I will give you some examples. UPSC in the year 2019, they asked a question on, this is a story of Malavikagnimitra. So which period does it belong to? Are you looking at the previous year question, sir? Shunga dynasty ka story tha, So उसके बारे में क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था. So that is a model. On the basis of many more questions can be formulated again. Okay, they can ask the story of Mudra Rakshas, they can ask the story of Swapna Vasavadatta. Yes, so all of these are prominent historical place of India, so we need to know about them. Is it all right, sir? Okay, so next one is, okay, just one story, last one I will discuss, then after that we can take a break. So that is the story of Alexander's invasion over India. So why did he come to India? Okay, we need to discuss about it first. So I think you might be knowing from your political science lectures that, okay, so Alexander, he is in fact the disciple of Socrates, not Socrates, Aristotle. Yes or no? So in fact Socrates, Plato, Plato to Aristotle, Aristotle to Alexander. Okay, in fact, okay, so this Alexander, he belonged to a city state which is known as Macedonia. Okay, Macedonia is the city state to which he belongs to. Originally, the Greeks, okay, or the Greek Empire, it was divided into numerous city states. Okay, one of the city states is Athens, one of the city state is Macedonia, one of the city state is Sparta. So this way, numerous city states were present in the Greek Empire at that point of time, and these small kingdoms, they were never able to unite with each other, sir. There were regular conflicts between each other, particularly there were many conflicts between the Spartans and the Athenians. Okay, so this way there were regular conflicts, and during these conflicts, what happened is, at the same time in West Asia region, there emerged an empire which is known as Achaemenid Empire. Okay, Achaemenid Empire, which replaced the Mesopotamian civilization. Okay, Mesopotamian civilization was gone and it was replaced by the Achaemenid Empire. Greek world was present, Achaemenid Empire was present, and parallelly at the same time in India, the age of Mahajanapadas, it started. See this. Okay, age of Mahajanapadas started. Okay, Achaemenid Empire, Greek city states were present. And during this time, okay, there emerged very great rulers of Achaemenid Empire, which starts with a very prominent ruler by the name of Cyrus. Okay, Cyrus, and this Cyrus is the one who attacked, okay, the Greek world first. Then apart from attacking the Greek world, he also attacked the Mahajanapadas of India, and he took the Gandhara Mahajanapada and Kamboja Mahajanapada of India into the Achaemenid Empire. It means that Afghanistan, okay, and the northwestern part of Pakistan, it was taken over by him, and he integrated Gandhara and Kamboja Mahajanapada into his empire. And during his period only, Cyrus, he sent a prominent navigator by the name of Skylax. This is very, very prominent. Skylax was sent, and this Skylax is the one who first navigated the Indus River Delta, sir. So he is the one who properly gave a map of the Indus River Delta. By traveling across the Indus River Delta in his boats, he was able to give a map to the Indus River Delta, and his name is Skylax. Is it all right? Then after Cyrus, there were many more rulers, but the next prominent ruler is this person by the name of Xerxes. Okay, Xerxes is the next prominent ruler. I think you might be knowing him from the movie 300, which shows the conflict between the Spartans and Xerxes. Yes. So in fact, after Cyrus, the next ruler who invaded the Greek Empire is Xerxes. And even though the movie shows the Spartans as victors in this war, in fact, Xerxes, he destroyed the Greek city-states, sir. Okay, he looted the Greek city-states, okay, he destroyed them, and he also occupied these territories, and at the same time, he also had the control over some Indian Mahajanapadas too. Is it all right? Then after Xerxes' invasion, in the Greek city-states, they started significant rethinking about their strategy towards the Achaemenid Empire. At this point of time, okay, the ruler of Macedonia was Philip, and his son was Alexander. Okay, and Alexander is the one, okay, who was trained by, okay, the philosophies of Aristotle, and he was a great student of natural history, and through his strategies and politics, what he did is, he was able to unite all the Greek city-states. And after uniting the Greek city-states, what he did is, he started expelling the Achaemenian troops from the Greek city-states first. Then thereafter, after uniting all the Greek city-states, he raised a large army and he attacked the Achaemenid Empire. At this point of time, the Achaemenid Empire's ruler is a person by the name of Darius III. Okay, only a few things are important here. I'll dictate the most important points. And they fought a very famous battle which is known as Battle of Gaugamela. And in this battle, even though Alexander's troops were outnumbered by the Achaemenid Empire, because of better military strategy, okay, because of, okay, very fast moving cavalry, Alexander was able to defeat the Achaemenid Empire in this war, sir. which is known as the famous Battle of Gaugamela. And once in the Battle of Gaugamela, Darius III was defeated, a large empire, it came under the control of Alexander, which is known as Achaemenid Empire. And this Achaemenid Empire, it extended from Egypt to Central Asia, sir. Okay, Africa mein Egypt was under its control, Arabian Peninsula was under its control, West Asia was under its control, and Central Asia was under his control. And all these territories, they came under Alexander's empire. Then thereafter, okay, listening to Aristotle's theory of natural history, okay, Alexander, he strongly believed that once you cross, okay, the Achaemenid Empire, you will enter into India. But on the eastern front of India, if you keep traveling on ocean, you are going to reach the Greek world, is the theory which has been proposed by Aristotle, sir. Is it clear? Strongly believing in this theory, what Alexander wanted to do is, after defeating the Achaemenid Empire, he wanted to take over India. And after taking over India, he wanted to come to the eastern coast of India. From eastern coast, he wanted to travel to the Greek world, sir. Because these people did not know the American continents at that point of time. And they thought that they are very nearby. All the oceans are connected is one belief they used to have. So because of which reason, okay, he next attacked India, and he was also attracted to the wealth of India, sir. And as part of these attacks, first he entered into the northwest province of India. In the northwest province of India, he entered with a huge army of his own. And when he entered into this region, immediately some local rulers, they submitted to Alexander without any conflict, sir. And in northwest India, at that point of time, there were two prominent rulers. One person is Ambi, who is the ruler of Takshila, okay, who is the ruler of Gandhara Mahajanapada, in fact. And the second one is this person by the name of Porus. I think we might be knowing him as Purushottam. Okay, Purushottam or Porus is the second ruler. And Ambi, what he did is he had a running conflict with Porus. And what he did is he sided with Alexander in order to fight with Porus, sir. Okay, the two had a conflict, and Ambi was unable to defeat Porus. That is the reason why he sided with Alexander, and with Alexander, along with Alexander troops, they combinedly attacked Porus, sir. And there occurred a very, very famous battle here, which is known as Battle of Hydaspes. Okay, Hydaspes is the battle name. So on the river banks of Ravi river, this battle was fought. Okay, Jhelum, yes. So Hydaspes is Jhelum. On the river banks of Jhelum, this battle is fought. And in this battle, even though Porus lost the battle, he showed a significant amount of courage in this battle, sir. In fact, after the battle, he was completely chained. Okay, he was wounded with multiple swords and arrows, and he was dragged in front of Alexander. And when he was dragged in front of Alexander, Alexander asked him a question: "How do you want me to treat you?" Then Purushottam, he answered by saying that, okay, you should treat me as you treat your king. Okay, even after losing the battle, even after being in chains, he did not leave his attitude, or attitude means good attitude here. It is based on courage. He wanted to be treated like a king. Okay, he said that I want to be treated in a way which befits a king, because I am a king. So this way, okay, he was able to impress Alexander, and after this, okay, Porus was made into a military general in Alexander's army, and he was reinstated with his kingdom, sir. Is it all right? Then after that, okay, so what Alexander did is, okay, in fact, the Indus and its tributaries can be learned in this fashion, sir. IJC, RBS, right? Yes, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, BS, and Satluj. Okay, so this code you have to remember from west to east. So he crossed Indus, then he fought in Jhelum, he crossed Jhelum, he came to Chenab, okay, he crossed Chenab too. Then after that, his journey, it ended at the river Ravi. Am I right? Ravi or Bias? So he crossed Ravi too, and he came till the river Bias, sir. Okay, and by the time he came to the river Bias, numerous Ganasangas of northwest India, they troubled Alexander and his troops, sir. For every inch of territory, he was fighting a very, very ferocious war. He was fighting for every inch of territory. And by the time they reached Bias, the stories of the Dhanananda and his armies, they threatened the armies of Alexander. And the Alexander's armies, they said that we are not going to go any further than this. So because of the pressure put by his army, Alexander, he started withdrawing from the river Bias. Okay, and in the process, what happened is he went first back to Babylonia. Okay, Babylonia is in fact the capital of the Achaemenid Empire. And by the time he reached Babylonia, he was infected by malaria. Okay, because of his infection of malaria, okay, he went to Babylonia, and in Babylonia, at a young age of nearly 36 years, he expired. Is it clear? So this is the story of Alexander the Great. He came to India and he went back, and in the process, he died in Babylonia, sir. Is it all right? So, and after his death, I think you might be knowing about a famous story of Alexander. So what he did is he asked the people who buried him to bury him with his hands outside of his grave. Okay, to prove the world that even though he conquered the entire world, he is not taking anything with him. Okay, this is a true story. Okay, then apart from that, there was also a problem of burial robbers at that point of time. Okay, people used to rob the burials, okay, and disrespect the dead people. Okay, and you can't continuously guard your dead bodies, right? So that is the reason why he was, okay, he instructed his army generals to bury him with his hands out to prove that there are no burial goods, number one. To prove the second thing that, okay, he is not carrying anything with him to the afterlife. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And the Western culture, it projects Alexander as a world conqueror. Yes, even though he conquered only some parts of Asia. Yes, because their worldview was very small. Okay, he was considered to be a world conqueror. Okay, so that is the reason why they tried to over project him. Alexander has and his invasions, they gave the Western world a lot of self-confidence, sir. Am I making sense? Okay, so but in fact, Rabindranath Tagore is the one who at one point of time he clearly stated that Alexander's empire is ephemeral. Ephemeral means it is you know about the rivers which are ephemeral, okay, very short-lived. Okay, so he is not a world conqueror. The real world conqueror is Buddha. Yes or no? Okay, so because his conquest is material, it has remained only for a short period of time. Whereas Buddha's conquest is spiritual, and even today, okay, Buddhism is a very prominent religion across the world. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So this is the story of Alexander the Great. The handout we will see later after the break. You take a break for half an hour. After break, we are going to continue our discussion. Is it making sense? Are you understanding, sir? Okay, so this is the case.